Hey everybody, welcome back to the Botch Pit. This is Chris. I'm here with Lenny, Nick, Seth, our new player, and Jill. We're here tonight to kick off our new Geist Chronicle. I'm going to get this out of the way. I know people have been bugging us about further Hunter games, but as of right now, Brad has some stuff that he has to take care of, or Bread, as the nickname goes, and he's going to be out for a little while. And because of that, that kind of puts the zoo campaign on hold. That puts the Hunter game on hold. Vampires on hold, but that's okay. That makes Nick happy. And we're deciding to push forward and try out a new game. And yeah, it's pretty much the basics of it.
Nick, can you piss him off so we can play Vampire? So he can piss you off? Just out of spite.
It rolls downhill. All right. So anything you guys want to say before I kind of start pushing ahead with the game? Nick, anything?
I'm happy to be back. It's been a little bit since we've recorded. It's nice that everyone's here.
It's been about 2 months. And, yeah, we're here. That's it.
We don't know why.
Because we're going to play Geist. It's going to be fun. Okay, so, Lenny, tell us a little bit about your character.
Damn it, I gotta go first.
You're sitting next to me on the brake fluid-soaked couch.
Yeah, shouldn't have been that way. That's right, Seth. You lean back, you son of a bitch.
It's so comfy.
So much
we'll push you
dry
later, it's
cushion
fine.
to sit on.
It's
It's
so
wonderful.
chill, so much dry cushions to sit on.
Just remember who's driving you home tonight. All right,
Don't scare
so
me.
my guy, his name is Oliver Moore.
Ooh,
Thank you.
Well, you said you're driving her home.
That's not funny.
I'm making room in the pit. I got Brad out. Who's next?
I'm sorry, who?
Brad. Sorry.
It'll get there.
You're all gonna fall. Eventually, I'm gonna take Nick out, and the botch box will be mine.
I'll have like a predator wristwatch.
That's why I asked Seth to come in.
It'll just explode.
That's why I asked Seth to come in. You're all gonna tumble one by one. Not Seth though. He's the
I
only
think
one.
you just got promoted to hetero life, mate.
No. I just think he knows how to hide
I'm
bodies
gonna
better than I do.
pass. I think I can do better.
Wow. Oh. Wow. I don't know how to respond to that.
He just didn't want to switch couches.
He's not wrong. I gave
Yeah, I don't need a
gave
wet
up
ass.
the nice couch for you. Okay, anyways, Lenny,
Yeah,
your character.
He pissed off his second wife to do it.
Totally worth it too.
Anyways, my character, his name's Oliver Moore, or Ollie for short. He kind of grew up a loner until he hit the age of 18. Then he really kind of fell in love with the club scene and fell in with his own Nick. He spent 2 months.
All right, so tell us about your the Geist attached to your Sin Eater.
All right. So her name's Peggy. She was an up-and-coming dancer back in the 40s.
Peggy Bundy, why?
And she started to get more well-known. She wanted to hit that level of fame with, like, Fred Astaire and stuff like that. So, due to a bunch of unfortunate circumstances, she ended up getting murdered, or falling victim to becoming one of the Black Dahlia murders.
Okay, but obviously, but obviously she's not fully aware of that because she's an angry, angsty, geisty.
Holy
Correct.
Every sound that you guys hear, just want you to know, Nick twitches every time that makes its way.
I wonder what makes him twitch more.
Whatever you're gonna say,
Vampire-
just stop. Just.
Is it vampire or that?
That was me. I've got some gas.
My turn?
Yeah, your turn, Nick.
All right. My Sin Eater's name is Luke Axton, and Luke is a junior going into senior year of high school. So he's 17 years old, and he was recently he's on a baseball team, on his high school baseball team, and he was promoted to captain. And what has happened is it's been a lot of some of the team members don't really approve of it. Some like it, some they don't like it. One of his good friends used to he used to hang out all the time with him, he really didn't like it because he was co-running against him. So what ends up happening is, he's a good guy deep down. He defends, anyone who gets bullied. He's even caught people that are on his own team bullying, underclassmen, even middle schoolers. And he actually goes out of his way to either, stick up for the kids or kick the guys off the team. And so what happened was, in Geist, unfortunately, your character has to kind of die. What happened with Luke here is he went to a party, a house party, from some of the kids of high school.
Or Kid and Play there?
What?
Kid and Play, House Party, the movie? Nothing? All right, sorry, go ahead.
And he was invited there by Madison, who's his somewhat love interest, somewhat not. They're not fully together yet. And when he went there, everything was going cool. He had a couple underage drinking. And then what happened was the guys that he has been kind of pushing away against, and also his former friend were there at the party, end up getting into a fist fight. Everyone separated them. And then, once he sobered up, he went to go leave. Madison stayed behind. He was driving home. And what happened was, as he was driving home, he was listening to rock music, classic rock. He was run off the road by those guys. He ended up flipping the car over and over. He ended up surviving that, but what killed him, unfortunately, was a tree branch stabbed right through his windshield, right into him. So although he survived all the initial impacts, that was the last thing that kind of took him out. And as he was laying there dying, that's when the Geist came to him.
Tell us about the Geist.
Yeah. So the Geist, nicknamed Sweet Emotion, she is a take on the type of ghost that Samara Morgan as well as what's the actual name for her, Chris?
For Samara.
Samara, but there's in the Japanese one that you were talking about earlier today.
Oh, I do not remember. I thought it was Samara in general, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I believe the term was Onyo.
Okay.
In terms of the culture, that came to him, and everything that brings. And we'll see how it develops with that type of character, but I'm really excited for it.
So you literally don't have any information on the background of the Geist. You just know what it is.
That character doesn't. I do as a person who's created it.
Okay. All right. That's fair. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Excellent.
And I'll mention one more thing
go
about
ahead.
it is that, it's more of appears to be younger, but one of her telltale signs is that she drips water everywhere. And she also, the same type as the monster from the film, she distorts, contorts, and can walk on ceilings and stuff.
So it's kind of like the way I was describing the ghost in the Hunter game.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
And Billie Eilish.
And Billy
Yep.
Eilish. Awesome. All right. Hold on one second here. I'm taking notes because, there's a lot of characters to keep track of if you include the Geist. What is the name of your Geist again? Sweet Emotion?
Sweet Emotion's the nickname. I have the actual name, but that's not revealed yet.
Okay. You'll have to give that to me later, though.
Yep, I have it all right here.
Okay, cool. All right. Seth, you're playing a ghosty.
I am actually, yes.
Spooky ghosty. All right.
It's not the nicest ghost you'll ever meet.
Give me some background. How'd you
well-
get to being fucking dead?
Well, first off, my name is Craig Athlon. I was a cannibalistic serial killer in the 1970s. I was nicknamed the Body Snatcher because I would actually leave the heads displayed out in public, but no one could ever find the body itself. So eventually, a grieving...
I want to point out that you're getting eyebrows of approval already from Lenny. He's like, all right.
After the death of a female teenager that he killed, a grieving father finally decided he was going to find him and do his own vigilante justice, and ended up catching Athlon, and he wrapped him up in chains and then decided to electrocute him with jumper cables and a car battery to say sorry and get some type of closure. But Athlon never gave in and ended up just dying, being electrocuted to death, and left there charring and shaking with electricity when the police found him.
And here you are.
And then he's back now with unfinished business.
All right, cool. What is his goal? What is his aspiration? Like, what does he want?
He still hungers for death, but for others, not himself. He wants to take those with him back to the Underworld. Basically teach them a lesson.
Twilight, that kind of purgatory area that you're in.
Yeah, the Twilight.
Okay,
So
Cool.
he's there just for that.
love it.
He's just
All right.
out here for blood, it sounds like.
He's there for the lulls.
He's there for the lulz, and he believes the living should be punished, especially that certain family bloodline.
Got ya.
All right. It's dark. I like it.
Told you it'd be good. All right, Jill,
Chris.
tell us about your ghost, your Geist, your Sin Eater.
So my Sin Eater's name is Grace Smith Shaw. She's 19. She is a daughter of divorced parents. When she was younger, they made her choose between them in court, choose who she wanted to live with. She ended up picking mom as a kid, but always ended up regretting it because her mom's really narcissistic and just pretty terrible. The dad, having been left out of this choice, kind of just disappeared to go do his own thing. Since Grace regretted this choice, she's always wanted to find her dad and really just apologize to him and to just figure out where he went, what happened. But in the meantime, since she's still, a teenager, even though she's 19, she's stuck at home with mom. So she volunteers at an animal shelter in her free time to get out of the house, to get away, and also she's developed this love for animals. But she's very short-tempered and very angry, really just from her life's decisions. And she displays a lot of this in the animal shelter, not towards the animals who she loves, but towards the people who come in and try to adopt sometimes. If she thinks they're not a good fit for these animals, she'll, try and intimidate them and scare them off because she wants these animals to have, happy lives.
Excellent. All right, I like it.
Thank you.
Tell me about your Geist.
So my Geist is... my Geist is a kitsune, which for those who don't know is basically a Japanese fox spirit. Think Ninetales, really.
Don't worry, not because he...
No, I know.
Make me a Geist.
Nick's unhappy with these background noises.
They're in rare form today, too. Like, they're normally, in the living room. Tonight, they're just
I know.
like, we want to be
He
right.
comes back from the grave to haunt
They're
noisy
directly
children.
above us.
His anchor is the botch box.
Well, isn't this a job for Athlon then?
Sounds like don't skip my children. Oh. Anyway,
My kitsune's name is Shinlei, and he was connected to a boy in Japan, kind of as a spirit guardian to him. And all I know is that there was a betrayal there, and they got disconnected.
so what does your Geist look like?
My Geist?
Yeah.
Ninetales.
From Pokemon?
Straight up. I mean, that's what kitsunes look like.
But does it look like a beautiful, or does it
Oh
look
yeah,
like...
absolutely.
So
Gorgeous.
it's not, it doesn't show any of the sort of, any of the degeneration or the falling apart or anything that a normal ghost would have. It's just a strikingly beautiful thing. And that's
Yeah.
cool. Don't worry, I'm not criticizing. I'm just
No.
clarifying.
Yeah, no,
it.
exactly that.
Okay. All right, there's going to be some pretty pissed off other guys when they see that.
Um,
They're going to be
also-
like, I want to look like that. I want to be a pretty fox. All the furries are like, me too.
I think worth noting about kitsunes too is that they can also take on a human form just in Japanese folklore. I don't know if I'm
Okay.
gonna incorporate that
Yeah, we
or
can
if
do
you'd
that.
like to.
That's
but
fine.
That's just
When it comes to the visual stimuli of how you guys are going to, I don't know if I made this clear yet. I'm not playing your guys' Geist.
that's fair.
You are. You're playing your Geists and your characters. So, the more detailed you can be with the descriptions of your Geists as they appear or your actions with them, the better. And just to make things a little bit more sweeter, this is something I really haven't done. The better your descriptions are, the better you do this, the more XP I'm going to award you guys at the end.
Okay.
Fair?
Sure. Yeah.
So basically, the more brutal we get.
So you really want to know the detail of my murdering?
Yep.
Excellent.
So Seth is gonna break the game.
Excuse me, my name is Craig Effland.
My apologies.
And the mental breakdown begins.
There can only be one.
Great, I found the one method actor to role playing. We're fucked. All right. So, for the sake of speeding up and cutting through the normal bullshit that a first level campaign, we're gonna say you're all newer Geists. We're talking within, not you. You died a while ago, but it wasn't until recently where you started to get some coherency back, which is kind of weird. But we'll touch back on that later. So we're going to say you're all very, fresh to being Sin Eaters. And the one thing you guys all got in common, where did you live, Jill?
Just like specifically. I mean, I was picturing like rural suburbs.
Of what state? Like, it doesn't have to be that descriptive. I don't care.
Let's just say somewhere Maryland.
All right, Nick.
I was gonna say more like Maine, but I'll
Fucking dick.
I can go
I'll
to
switch it
Maine.
up.
No, you could do it. It's totally fine. Lenny.
That kind of fucks me up.
I can
Just
change
give
my
us a
location.
town.
It really
I
doesn't
was
matter.
thinking
us a
more
town.
like any urban type city, like probably like either Boston, Chicago, or even LA.
All right. So oddly enough, you guys now death changes you. It's a traumatizing experience to be sure, but the liberation of escaping death and seeing what lays beyond and your newfound like reinvigorated, it's a new lease on life, literally. It changes your perspective on things. But the strangest part of all of this is you guys go back to your homes. Like you don't go in. Not you. You're fucking stuck in Twilight, bitch. It's where you are.
I don't have a home.
You shouldn't have been fucking taking heads and shit.
I didn't take the heads. I left them as displays.
You should have been taking the bodies.
They were delicious.
Oh no, the consequences of my own actions.
Just
Ribs, thank you.
You died in the 70s, so you're stuck with a mustache. Like mutton chops.
That's what I'm wearing right now.
Yeah, you have a whole facial hair thing. I'm talking just a mustache. We're talking like
So,
Burt Reynolds
like,
mustache.
Pedo stash?
Yeah.
Like
yeah, we're gonna go
Hall
pedo
and Oates
stash.
level.
Great.
Don't you dare talk about Hall and Oates. All right. So all of you, except you get.
Tired of this already.
This is ghost discrimination. You all got letters saying, "Greetings, Sin Eaters. I know that what you've been through recently is very traumatizing, and your new adjustment to life is strange. But you are needed in Portland, Maine. And it has like a plane. It has plane tickets. Not you. Not you. You get like a bus pass because you're already fucking there. And it says, "I look forward to seeing you. Best regards, Father Luke." And it's got an address. And it's signed. It's a hand signature. It's not like printed or anything like that, so you know it's an actual person who signed it off. And the address is a church. So, are you guys all familiar with the state of being a Sin Eater does to you?
No.
Lenny? No?
I think we both know the answer to that one.
Yeah, we do. Okay. So the thing about Sin Eaters is no matter what, at all times, because of their newfound bond with the Geist, they can see Twilight and ghosts everywhere they go. Like, you don't turn it off and on. You can't turn it off. Because your awareness is there at all times. You just can't unsee what you see. And the worst part is, you haven't had to experience this yet because you're all newer Sin Eaters. I forget the name of the actual thing. But ghosts are literally attracted to you. You have an aura that says, you're a beacon to ghosts. They call to you. Now, your Geist explained a couple of basic things to you. They explain, how it goes. There's Twilight, which is the realm that kind of overlays our own. And it's where the memories of people that gain consciousness, which is ghosts, live. And typically they can't interact with things unless they're older or really emotionally charged with something. They have things called anchors, which keep them in that plane. Now, at any place where there's been a lot of great death or loss, there's these things that open up called Avernian gates. And that's where ghosts are drawn into, typically. And it's a really shitty place to be. The entire plane itself of the Underworld, it's exactly what it sounds like. It feeds on ghosts. It literally costs ghosts one essence, which is kind of like their, like blood points or mana or anything like that. It literally costs them one per day to just not start getting absorbed by the Underworld. And if you run out of essence, you're just literally soaked into like a wall. And the wall or floor or whatever object you were leaning against will pull you in slowly and suck you dry until the last thing that disappears is your fucking agonized face of just sadness and desperation that can never be fixed. Yeah. Now, there's entire cities down there. There's entire rivers that course down there. But the rivers may not be filled with water at all times. It may be water, rivers of boiling baby fat or used needles or skulls. It could be any, sort of arcane thing. It could even be something just weird like marshmallow. It doesn't matter, but it's not normal. It just doesn't fit. There's rivers that flow on ceilings, and the deeper you go, the stranger it gets. And I'll save that for another time. Now, from what you know, the way that water is extremely dangerous down there, that stuff. If you fall into it, it wears you down and degrades you completely. However, if a ghost were to drink of that, they lose a chunk of who they are, but they gain a rank as a ghost. Geists are ghosts that typically drank in some of that water and got all cracked out. That's it. So, there are rituals you can do to go to the underworld. Like, you can sacrifice something if you're that crude, but you can learn places to go and learn things to do. Like, every graveyard has an Avernian gate. Every one of them.
Okay.
Places where tragedies happened. Like, right now, if you were to go into Twilight, not to use such a tacky example, but just off the top of my head, buildings that have been taken down, like, the Twin Towers still stand in Twilight.
Interesting.
Like, walls that could even be broken down in a home and remodeled. To a Geist, that wall is still seen.
So,
And-
like, history really doesn't change, essentially?
It takes a long time, yeah. And in the Underworld, that stuff is all incorporated into the ecology. You could run into cities made up of... I'm trying to think of a good example. The leftover travel tools of the Donner Party, plus a Volkswagen Beetle. You know what I mean? In a crashed plane. It doesn't matter. Like, culture clashes down there.
That's
The dead are the dead. And the way that ghosts get essence back is by eating the washed up, broken memories of things that go down to the underworld. Like,
Okay.
for example, say a little girl's teddy bear that she really loved, and it gets just, burnt up, maybe it's in a fire or something like that. The charred teddy bear will appear in the underworld for a short amount of time, and if you eat it, literally eat it, that's how you get your essence back. You are stuck literally eating the leftover fucking memories of the living to sustain yourself down there.
What causes you to lose essence? Does it just go over time?
Nobody fully knows, but the realm itself takes its due.
Okay.
It's not a happy place.
Do you only lose essence when you're in the underworld?
For ghosts?
Yes.
Yes. Now, Sin Eaters don't do that.
Okay.
Sin Eaters don't lose that stuff down there.
Oh.
However, when you go down there, those ghosts are as physical as you.
Okay.
Like, you're on full even terms down there. Now, if a ghost in Twilight tries to fight a Sin Eater, it can hit the Sin Eater, but the Sin Eater can't hit back. Unless it literally pulls its bound Geist into itself,
Gotcha.
and then it can hit it.
Okay.
But you also have to be careful, because if you do that in front of a cop and they see you just swinging at the air, you understand? There's
Yeah.
a lot of little quandaries
Yeah,
here.
definitely.
It's also hard to walk down the street and have 50 ghosts surrounding you, all being like, help me, my sister, my dog, my
Yeah.
curling iron, all sorts of shit. And you're just trying to, like, leave me alone. I just got to walk down the street, and they're all surrounding you. It's hard to not let that be seen. Now, for the most part, I'm not going to put you in situations where that's, the game wouldn't move on. Seth just wants to see me torture people.
That's
Give it
not-
time.
We'll get there.
Give it
Don't
time.
worry.
That's what I'm here for.
I know. So, that is the state of the Sin Eater.
Okay.
Now, you have choices. You can help the ghosts resolve their anchors and move on to wherever they're supposed to go and kind of and go away and not
Yeah.
be miserable. But if you decide to literally destroy the ghost's anchors, those poor bastards get pulled into whatever Avernian gate is closest. It just sucks them right in. So it's really a torturous thing. And, I mean, the Underworld, the thing is, when you first enter the Underworld as a ghost, you feel empty as shit because all you've known to sustain yourself are those anchors. Now you've got nothing. You know what I mean? There's nothing that makes you matter. Like, why not just give in and let this world absorb me?
Which basically is just what happens.
A lot. Some of them hold on to that vestige of life, though, and live in the cities. Because don't forget, those items that they find become a form of commerce.
Interesting.
There's enslaved ghosts down there. There's entire slave trades. There's ferrymen. And there's also things deep in the underworld that's called dominions. That if you can get down in there, there's these ancient things called Kerberoi that govern these areas. And while you're in them, you don't lose essence. But they have these things called the old laws. Each one has its own rules that you have to follow or you get punished. And each realm varies about how you get punished.
Yeah.
If you're lucky, you get cast out, but that's almost never the punishment. But it's a gamble too, because you may think, all right, hell, I'm going to go down there. That sounds great. All right, cool. You go, somehow you survive traveling down there, which again is a whole other thing. And you get there and suddenly it turns out you can only speak Latin in that place.
You're screwed.
Or you can't walk in there, you can only float. You can't do that. Like, you know what I mean? And then you may have only had enough food or essence to travel that far.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of threat. And
Yeah,
that's just the underworld. Like, that's not even talking about the normal perils that you face on the regular world. Along with all the other supernaturals. And the things that live down in the underworld that were never living to begin with. And I mean, let's not even talk about Reapers.
Okay. Let's not.
Nick knows about Reapers.
I know about Reapers.
I don't.
Lenny, do you know about Reapers? Remember the zoo campaign? Reapers are fun.
That's a lie.
No, Reapers are fun, dude. In fact, in the new Geist in 2nd edition, they make it so that you can actually play Reapers as a character.
They're not fun.
He's like, I'm against it. I'm already against it. All right. So with all of that said, are there any kind of... That's a very basic, bare bones explanation of the game.
Okay. No
And just so everybody
questions.
listening is aware, yes, they've all had the books and the PDF for months. Before I get it blamed on me for being like, oh, you teach them. They have.
That's not true.
Not Seth. Seth is innocent in this.
They gave me like 3 days notice.
Come on, dude. I gave you 3 days. All right.
It's terrible.
I know. All right. So, any questions before we actually get on with what we're doing? Now that you guys have a full basic explanation of it.
Can you explain all of that again?
All right. So you move in the underworld. And the point for Sin Eaters actually is to help resolve the leftover memories and mystery behind their Geist. And also for you to resolve your own aspirations and finish up whatever unfinished business you had. We don't know what happens once that happens. Do you get restored to full life and the Geist moves on? Do you and the Geist actually become one full being? Or do you both just realize that it was the journey, not the end destination? Do you just fucking fully die and move on? Like you were supposed to have in the first place. There's a lot of questions that go along with that, which is why Geist is kind of a really cool game to me. Behold the voice of terror. Are we scared? Look at Nick's looking at the timestamp. He's like, can I edit that out? All right. So you all got the invite. You all got the stuff. So you all make your way there. I'll get to you.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious how I get there since I'm just in the Twilight. I can't get a letter there.
No, I explained to you, you were already just drawn there. You kind of just wandered your happy ass over there. You felt pulled to go over this area.
So I just felt it a new area for.
You're a ghost. Your personality at this point does not matter yet.
That kind of hurts my feelings.
Well, you don't have them. You're a ghost.
That's not true.
It's
You
not
can't
true.
tell me how I feel.
Ghosts are people too. Ghosts.
I identify as a helicopter. Thank you.
All right. So you're just drawn to this place, and we'll get back to you. You literally just spent. You don't know how long you spent. You just wandered. And just kind of went along your way,
All right.
eating shit to kind of keep yourself going. You're like, oh, all right, that's a fucking broken business. But
Eat a basketball, have a blast.
yeah, you just play exactly. You play with the basketball until you got hungry, then you had to eat the basketball. It's not a good time.
Good memories.
Yeah, good times.
It's like a cartoon. It goes down the neck like a big basketball.
You still haven't watched The Frighteners yet, have you?
No, I haven't.
Ah. All right. So you all kind of arrive, conglomerate at the same time because there was a time on the card. Because reasons. I want to push the fucking story ahead. There was a time that said to meet. There you go. There was a time that said to meet. You guys decided to go with it. You were curious. The weirdest part about that is, I don't know if I already clarified this. The letters were post-dated for a couple of days before you died. So someone already knew you guys were going to end up Sin Eaters.
Spoopy.
Spoopy indeed. All right. So as you all kind of coalesce in this place at the same time, you see it is an old, we'll say it's a church, very quaint but large enough. Looks like it was built probably the early 1800s, typical New England church. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's got the 4 towers on the sides. You know what I mean? Angle up in the point. Yes.
Would my Geist enter the church?
Huh?
Would my Geist enter the church? Would any Geist?
What is your ban or bane? Does it involve anything regarding churches?
No.
Then you're fine.
Okay, I just didn't know.
Nothing about
from
Holy
a
Land's a
supernatural
church, right?
No.
Okay.
I'm focusing on the angry Portuguese upstairs.
You become immune to it. All right. So as you all approach, you guys all see each other, but more importantly, you guys all see the Geist that you're bound to. So I'm going to allow you to go first, Lenny, as you see...
Don't make me go first, because I hear screaming upstairs and I'm dying right now.
Not dying as much as Nick.
Ah!
We need to soundproof this shit. I started, but I ran out of the insulation. I ran out of insulation. I need more. Okay. So...
That'd be the first Patreon.
Start a Patreon for insulation. Some people Patreon for cosplay. I'm gonna Patreon for insulation. All right. So
Nick just takes another drink.
So Lenny, you see the two of them approaching. Give a physical description of you and your Geist. But all of you are gonna have to give a physical description.
I don't know. I'm dressed pretty casually. Basically jeans, t-shirt. It's pretty much a band t-shirt. I got my headphones on, hoodie, backpack. Guy's probably about, let's say, just under 6 feet. Kind of greased back hair. Yeah. My Geist, however, that's a bit different. So she's pretty much got on a short dress with high heels. Tons. It's like a white dress, but it's like stained and tattered over the years, but it's stained with blood because she was stabbed so many times. Mm-hmm. Actually, I take that back. She is missing a heel. And then the further you go up and look at her face, there's just gashes. Like, do you know what a Chelsea smile is? No.
Oh no.
That's
Is that the
glass
cut
glow?
from your mouth to your ear to your?
That's the
Yes.
glass glow. Is that different?
It's the same thing. No, it's also called a Glasgow smile.
Yeah,
It's
it's
Scotch thing,
basically
too.
like up.
Chibs.
Up, yeah, it's basically upper
It's
cheeks.
Chibs from
So
Sons
it's
of
like one
Anarchy.
giant smile. Whenever she opens her mouth, it just droops down lower because her jaw's broken too.
I'm always a fan of the disengaging jaw shit for ghosts. I love it. I just can't get enough of that. All right, carry on.
She's also missing her tongue.
What does it sound like when she speaks?
It's basically just a giant shrill screech.
How does your Sin Eater understand her?
He screeches back.
I want you all to bear in mind that I said you have to play your Geist and your Sin Eater, so it's gonna be like 10 minutes of just Lenny screeching himself in different tones.
So pretty much just listening to me in general.
Yeah, it's actually not that different.
Basically, it's the higher the pitch, it's like the more danger and stuff like that. Whereas it's more of like a calm, shrill like hum when she's like calm.
Can you give an example of the danger screech?
Thanks, Jill.
Hey Nick, how'd you test those levels?
Hold on, before you do anything, remember the louder you screech, you may summon the demons from above.
Can you do an example of the no danger screech?
Hew.
No, that's a danger screech. That's a danger screech.
It's more like.
Hey, you want something funny, Lenny?
What?
Session 18.
Yeah.
Twitch.
Everyone turned to a Geist then.
I'll explain later. Said it was dark times.
Still has a past.
No, wounds are still fresh. It's the session that ended that as soon as everybody but Brad left and went home, I drank an entire box of Mike's Hard Lemonades to my face. It was not a good session.
Mike's Hard Lemonade.
They
Going
were
strong,
gross.
kid.
No, they were gross. I had to drink them within half an hour to get any sort of effect out of it.
Of course, it's Mike's Hard
Yeah,
Lemonade.
exactly.
It was a wild night.
Fortunately, the insulin that I'm taking is compensating for it. I got diabetes from Mike's.
I totally just lost my train of thought.
Screech.
Thank you. The danger screech? Are you sure?
Will not screech from Saved by the Bell.
All right.
Don't go nuts with it. Do not go nuts with it because you have to do that every time we do this. Be rational about it.
Wee woo. All right, so I just want to.
What is that from?
Oh, it's
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob. Come on.
I don't get that.
You make me sad.
I don't watch SpongeBob.
You should. Or at least the first three
Don't
seasons.
fall into that trap. It's trash.
You don't like it either?
Nope.
I couldn't get into
Kick
it.
him out. Kick him out.
My
No,
brother,
it's a
my brother
Wicked.
watches that
Did
stuff.
you just use the word
The only things I
trash
like
to
about that
describe
show
SpongeBob?
is I like Tom Kenny and didn't oh my god, didn't Tim Curry have a role in it at one point as a pirate in the movie or something? No, that was Muppets. What the hell am I talking about? Nah, never mind. We're good.
All right, so
I know,
anyone
I
using
know.
headphones, I'm just gonna throw out the warning now. You're gonna
Why
want
don't
to.
you step 5 feet away from the microphone?
Better yet, why don't you just not scream it and make it logical so that way when you're playing the game normally you can do it without it exerting yourself.
You should put your head up in the air.
Because
and
that's no
screech.
fun. Do you want me to?
Go like this because it won't be a direct sound.
I just want to see Dyer's reaction when I do this. So.
Hey, they're gonna be knocking at the door.
Let's
You're
do
gonna
like
get
a
the
Wookiee
reaction
call.
We
from
are
us.
Screw it.
hearing screaming and Portuguese and children crying and random pianos in the
and
the
you're gonna
background.
get more of it.
Good.
Forgot about that.
All right, so it's basically.
Oh, it's pretty good.
That was like
That's
not what I
actually pretty
expected.
good.
That was good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it was good.
that was
Impressive.
That's-
Seth.
that's what- we're all. I was kind of surprised by that. All right.
Expecting stereotypical.
Was that the
Lenny
breathe-in
yell.
screech? Was that a good? Did you breathe into that screech? Yeah, it's good. All right. Okay. All right. So I mean, your character's generic looking, but your Geist is cool.
Yeah, pretty much.
All
And then, I didn't even get to tell you the best part.
Okay. Okay.
She's missing an eye. It's like just kind of like drooping and hanging.
Is it hanging by like the stem?
Yeah.
All right. I'm down. Okay. Nick.
Cool. Awesome. So Luke has Farrah Fawcett hair.
Wait. You're, all right. You're literally introing your first physical description of your guy character is he's got Farrah
I'm
Fawcett hair.
so proud of you, Nick.
Go ahead.
No, it's the look on his face. It's just very flowy and up in the air. Dark sunglasses. You know,
Feathered.
yeah,
That's the term
feathered.
I'm looking for.
Feathered is the term.
Oh. Okay.
He's wearing. What time of year is it? Is it happening current time or is
Yeah,
there?
we'll keep it easy.
Okay.
Current time.
So he has like a light jacket on because it is Maine. But underneath it's just like a black t-shirt, you know, dark sunglasses. He has headphones on just so he doesn't have to both physically see as well as hear the ghosts at this given time. He has his baseball bat with him, and he's also has his blue jeans, and
This just screams 80s to me.
yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. And he has Vans shoes on. So just black Vans shoes. Trying to keep it cool, but you could tell he's like at that age where you know he is younger, where he's like trying to be cool, but he's also like
He's maturing.
yeah,
right.
exactly that weird in between stage.
So tell me
Yeah.
about the Geist.
So the Geist, sweet emotion, otherwise known as just sweet.
Sweet or sweets?
Sweet.
Okay.
Like the song.
Yes,
Thank you for
exactly.
that. Or the word.
Yeah,
I thought the song first, so.
it's supposed to be after this.
You're just contrarian.
No,
You're just backing
no.
it up.
Nick made it a
Sweet
point to
Emotion,
mention.
Aerosmith.
Yeah, no, that's what
That's
happened
why
when he
he meant
I
the
meant the
crashed.
classic
nickname,
rock.
though. I understand that.
When he crashed, that was the song that was playing. So he doesn't know her name because she doesn't speak. All she does is just like the, stereotypical like grudge type of that thing,
yeah.
which is the pointing.
So again, like the Hunter campaign.
Is it
We
like
are
the
get-
Hunter campaign? I can't remember the Hunter campaign.
Yeah, the Hunter campaign. Like I had them literally like your character's mom would hang over the bed with like the hair down, just like with her mouth open.
Oh,
yeah.
Now it's coming back to me. It just didn't
That's
hit me
okay.
at the time.
Hey, dude, I'm cool with it. It's consistent.
Yeah. So again, stereotypical, that fashion. However, it's more modernized. It's more like a schoolgirl versus like an old maiden type deal. Just cut up everywhere, water dripping everywhere, hair flowing down to the ground. I can't even see her face. You don't even want to attempt to get near her to see her face. Just kind of everywhere. And she's just like, she slowly limbers towards where she has to go, but then all of a sudden if she gets too far away, she just like
Flickers ahead.
flickers ahead.
God,
exactly.
you stole my Hunter ghost. You stole my Hunter ghost.
Did I?
Good.
Did she
Right?
flicker?
Right? Was that my Hunter ghost?
Oh, I don't know.
Come
but
on,
I
Nick,
like
even
the
I
flicker.
tried to be original.
She didn't flicker.
Yeah, they did.
It reminds me of
didn't.
I
PT.
literally had the flickering
It
thing.
reminds me of PT.
Really?
Yeah. But
No,
then
I-
again,
I
can
was
see
going
that.
for
but in
mixed
your
between
defense,
PT.
but I also stole that from,
PT.
well, not just PT, but the Asian horror movie stuff.
Yeah.
I like the way they
Ju-on.
flicker back and forward. It creeps the shit out of me. That's one of the things that is creepy when they just go flicker and they just kind of that and the house on Haunted Hill.
Haunting of Hill House.
No, I was talking about House on Haunted Hill.
okay.
That weird stop motion thing they do where they walk in reverse, but then they film it and play it backwards. So they.
Oh, yeah.
I love using that shit for ghosts.
Yeah.
You said ghosted.
I'm standing by it.
He does not a word.
I don't care.
And
It's my game. I'll say ghosts how I want.
when she gets mad, when she really starts to get mad, you hear just white noise, and it just gets louder,
Staticky.
and then like, hey, back up,
I like it.
type thing. Yeah. So that's the ghost.
All right. You're a ghost. Jill, describe.
Thanks. I can still describe who I look like. Thank you.
Well, they haven't seen you yet. They're seeing each other. I'll give you a chance for you to describe your
I'm
basic
sorry.
ass ghost.
No, that's fine. I can get skipped.
Basic ass ghost.
I'll say right now, she's also like contorted, like, and she's walking around on the ground
Okay.
for right now.
Okay. Jill,
So
your character.
yes. So Grace is pretty plain looking. She's not particularly attractive, but not particularly unattractive either. She has
Plain.
Yeah, just plain mid-length blonde hair. She usually wears down. Doesn't really do much to it. She's wearing a hoodie with the logo of her animal shelter on it. It's Stetson Animal Shelter.
Ooh, specific. Okay.
Jeans with one rip in them, and then just Converse shoes that she wears mostly untied. So that's her for the most part.
All right. Describe me the ghosty.
My kitsune is gorgeous,
Not just gorgeous. Fabulous.
absolutely fabulous. Straight up like golden fur. When you look at it, you almost see a shine or a shimmer to it. It's a rather big fox, I guess like the size of a wolf. 5 tails, also shiny and flowy. And yeah, I guess when there's danger, the kitsune will growl. Otherwise, there could be a low purr to it when it's a little more pleasant. But I'm not gonna have it speak.
Gross. Horrifying. Who's a good boy?
Yeah, straight up.
All right, cool. Okay, so you all come together and you all see each other. How do you wish to interact? Because I'll be honest, so far out of everybody, I have a feeling that actually all of your characters are somewhat social.
Yeah.
You have to be. You're dealing with the public and people that have hurt animals. You're your character who seems, like common enough. And what was it your guy did for a job?
You didn't even let me get to tell.
I thought you did at the beginning. I gave you like half an hour.
Oh, before we started playing?
Oh, and yeah. What did he do?
He was a DJ.
He was
like a club DJ.
okay.
I forgot to mention about my character. Not sure if it's terribly important.
Let's do this.
She's
I was doing the DJ thing.
nice.
Thank you.
Terrible.
She always looks pretty angry, just due to her life and anger that she has anyway. Straight up resting bitch face majority of the time.
Oh, we got a resting bitch face. Do you have talk to the manager here?
No,
No.
no,
It's called a Karen do.
The
No.
Karen do?
Karen
Fucking Karen.
no blonde bob over here.
Okay. All right. So now that we've all approached that, you all see each other, but more importantly, you guys all see the guests that you brought along with you. This is the first time all of you have run into someone like yourselves. You've seen the ghosts, and you're still a little rattled by it because you haven't really interacted with them. And as you walk by or stare, sometimes their eyes will widen there, but sometimes they'll just stand still and watch as you go by. Sometimes they'll seem as if they're starting to slowly walk after you, even if you're like when you were on the bus. If they saw you on the bus, they would turn their head and slowly just generally walk into the behind you until they faded into the distance in the mirror. So you haven't interacted with them. This is the first time they're all seeing each other. Your Geist kind of starts shrinking a little bit, not necessarily out of fear, but apprehension. She casts very hateful eyes towards the Kitsune.
I.
Because yours was beautiful. Like, yours was beautiful, right?
Yeah.
And now it's looking at this Kitsune who knows it's a Geist, but can't get over how pretty it is in death. It's not fair. It's not fair. She's a little girl, right?
She's more like teenager. Like teenager?
She's teenage intrigued. I'd say she's intrigued by the Kitsune.
Yeah.
But they're both, they look at each other with a little bit of apprehension, but they both look at the Kitsune. Yours with hatred, or jealousy, I should say. Mm-hmm. Yours with interest. Because, like, why isn't it ugly and torn like me? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't fully compute. And
She
yours
loves
is
to
just
pet
kind
the
of
good
chittering and kind of very apprehensive. Because it knows that most ghosts have hated it. Now, was your Kitsune ever human? Typically they're human. Why would your human be a Kitsune?
They can spend time in human form.
No, I mean they were human. Because your Geist was human. They're ghosts that drank from the rivers of the Underworld and got cracked out.
Oh.
So what? No, and we can still do this.
Okay.
I'm totally fine with it. We just have to figure out a concept as to why this human would have turned into that. Which in itself is kind of a mystery, and that's something cool to go with.
It could have been...
Don't even answer it.
Okay. Because
You
I'm
don't
already
need to
having
answer it.
ideas.
Just think about that, because that's something that definitely, it's weird, and I'm not against it. It's different. So
I feel like I already could answer it, but okay.
Don't.
Noted.
don't need to. Not now. Not in front of everybody. Not in
Gotcha.
front of the witnesses.
Sorry.
Lenny just touched me, and I like it. I just want everybody out there to know. All right. So, what do your characters wish to say to each other? Who wants to break the silence? Your character was a DJ, so he'd be pretty sociable.
Yeah.
So would yours. Yours would be the least social. Probably likes animals more than people.
I stick my hand out to you first, because my guy showed interest in her.
Like, to shake? Is that...
Yeah. Hi, I'm Luke.
Did your character say that to shake? Your character's like super awkward. Is that what that's for?
I love how you go to the character
Handshake.
with RBF first.
With what?
The
Resting bitch face. Oh, yeah.
Well, okay.
I love the Toby handshake.
Hi, I'm Luke.
I take out my phone, hit pause, pull my hood down, take out my headphones. Hey, what's going on? I'm Ollie.
All right, I go back over. Sorry, I'm Grace.
Just so everybody knows, the players are actually shaking hands right now. It's so fucking cute.
What's up, Ollie?
Hi, I'm Grace.
Are you metagaming and macking on her? Just so I already know in advance.
No.
All right. Okay. Are you macking on the Kitsune? Are you a furry?
We'll see what happens.
We're not done with those jokes. I am not. So I'm stuck. I know we have furry fans, and sorry, your choice.
And sub countdown.
We better be careful. We're gonna pro Jared this bitch.
Whoa, hey now.
Joking. My own saliva.
You know what the worst part is? I think I know why you were really mad that we weren't going to be there on Monday.
The worst part is we saw pro Jared's penis on Twitter all day.
No, you did.
It was everywhere.
You did.
You didn't. It wasn't on Twitter. You didn't come across it. You're gonna lie.
I'm not on Twitter.
Oh, okay. Nick saw it.
It was weird.
It was very weird. It was weird. Pro Jared, if you're listening, you have a weird penis. So sorry about that, dude. I know it's like the least of your problems right now.
That's why you were mad on
Some
last
gaming YouTube channel talked about my penis.
That's why you're mad last week that we were gonna be there. You've been waiting to bust that joke out for 2 months.
No, I'm just.
Or
glad
how
I
long
got-
ever it's been.
I didn't even think about it till now, but I'm glad I got the opportunity. Thank you. It so ends the Pro Jared podcast. No, I'm kidding. All right, so with this, the Geist kind of step forward a little bit more, and seeing that you guys aren't, fist fighting each other. You got to remember, Geists have. I don't know how deep you looked into your character sheets. You have that synergy rank. That means how in tune you are with your Geist. Not very surprising, synergy. But as you go along further with your Geist, you should, by all rights, get more in common and kind of fall into a pattern together. Right now, they don't fully know how you feel, and you don't fully know how they feel. And you definitely don't have control of it. So that's something very important to remember. Your Geists brought you back. Or should I say, they're keeping death away from you. Keep that in mind when the time comes and you stop being useful to them. One more thing to keep in mind. You're at the temperament of angry, pissed off mini death gods. So, enjoy that. Okay, so you guys all introduce each other. You're doing your thing. Suddenly, the church door opens, and this gentleman he seems to be in his early 50s, steps out. He's wearing the habit of the church. He's got, rosary beads across. And he's got a small staff in his hand. It looks like some sort of oak with a cross on top with Jesus, the actual sacrificial sort of totem of the Catholic Church. He's like,
You all made it. I'm so very glad to see it. Please, step inside.
and he turns and walks back in. The guys kind of all look at each other like, What is your... Now again, this is something to get used to. What are your Geists saying to your characters? What are they communicating? Thanks, Nick.
I mean, none of them could really speak, so what'd you expect?
You're like, fuck, someone get him a lozenge. Give her a lozenge and go, oh, okay, that's much better.
Why did it take so long?
They don't have halls down in the Underworld. I mean, they have halls, but,
They had to settle for Ricola.
Yeah, seriously, they're pissed. They got the CVS off-brand shit with the lemon and the honey. It's gross.
So my Geist is probably very, taken back. Probably went back into the spider form. Just scurried behind.
My Geist, not quite a growl, but I'm gonna get a little rumble.
I just want to point out that I realized that in the Underworld, you could ride your Geist.
That's awesome.
I want to read you my Geist.
Nope, too late.
I want a rhinoceros.
Nope. Rhinoceros first.
It was the first thing that popped into my
You
mind.
played too much Donkey Kong, dude. That's what that came from. Nick and Lenny just high-fived. Nick doesn't care. He's sticking to He's gonna ride his little Asian girl.
Oh, that's
Oh,
bad.
no.
Oh no! Dude, I was joking about the Pro Jared thing.
I'm leaving that one in.
No. Seth doesn't give a shit. He's like, I don't care about your subs in general anyway. You want to make little girl jokes? That's on you. Great. That was out of context, everybody.
I'm also told I have to be on my best behavior. That's why I'm not talking that much.
You'll have your chance, don't you worry. We gotta find out where that line is. We gotta build you up.
I
there.
don't know where lines exist.
I know. We gotta see where they are. I don't
They're
even,
very, very thin
I don't know where
lines.
they are either. So, okay. So, I think I told you the two things that are like off limits for comments on here, and everything else is pretty much fair
I
game.
just remember I'm not supposed to ogle your wife and not supposed to do anything bad to the kids.
That was for the house rules. Yes.
So I left the marbles at home for the slingshots.
Thank you. He's half joking. He got me the elastics to make slingshots for the children. In his defense,
Anytime I can cause chaos, I will be there.
In his defense, Michelle asked us for them. And then he was like, oh, wait, breaking shit? Hold on, I'll help you. And he went and found the stuff. I'm not going to say where we work, but I will say I don't know where he found them.
So, Nick, are you going to be moving that botch box?
Nick is like legitimately concerned right now. They will not play with it inside the house.
Yeah,
fair.
because your
I'll
kids
bring the
listen to
box
you all the
outside.
time.
No, dude, he's like, I'll bring the box outside.
Gets the spray paint. Put a nice target on there.
Nick's like, I will kill everybody.
Then he actually will bring out the blood-soaked wedding dress.
He's going to show up with the wig, the plague doctor, man. We'll get into that another time. All right, carrying on. Do you all following ahead inside the church?
I kind of look up at Peggy, and she's like tilting her head for a second, but starts going towards it. So,
all right, so you're all in.
Could we see any other things in the area? I know you said it
Not
was a
yet.
church.
Not yet.
Okay.
Not
Wouldn't
yet.
even see the gate.
No, because there isn't one. I'll get to it. No, you can't see it where you guys are. How's that? Right where you guys are, you can't see anything yet.
Okay.
So you all head inside the church. You all go in. And he slowly walks down the, in between the pews of the main walkway down. He's kind of tapping the cane as he goes. He's in his right hand, he's tapping the cane. In his left, he's touching the rosary beads and kind of muttering to himself. And until he gets to the front of like the little stage that is up there, and he stands before the podium, not behind it, but in front of it. And his scuffled old shoes kind of make the noise of slapping against the wood as he turns, waiting for you guys to step in. Obviously, you guys do. And he's like,
I deeply, deeply appreciate all of you attending. I know you had a lot of things that you need to deal with, and a lot of things you need to process right now.
he's like,
But I am here to help you. But I'm also not going to lie to you. I need your help. Desperately. This city needs your help.
and he goes,
I know. It's like, I'm aware some of you died due to your own avarice. Some of you due to your own hubris, as is mankind's way. That is why we seek the path of the Lord.
he's like,
But I think it's very important that we learn from our lessons. Do we not agree?
he looks at all of you. His eyes are brown. His face is weathered. His hair, while white and very much pulling backwards, is, brushed back. And he's got a friendly smile. He's like,
I hope it did not take too long for you to get here.
he's like,
I'm aware you're a local boy, is that correct?
as he looks at what's your character's name? Luke. He looks at Luke. He's like,
You're local, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, I am. Yeah. Yeah.
How is,
he goes,
I know your friend is here, but at the moment, I cannot see her. How is she? Is she well?
Yeah.
and he kind of looks around as if he can tell the general direction she's in, but he can't quite place it.
She's crawling up like I assume there's like pillars. This is
Yeah,
a
yeah,
church.
yeah.
She's crawling up the pillars, and there's like water dripping down the pillars and up above. So she's like on the roof of the cathedral right now.
As the water drips down, the ectoplasm kind of splatters onto the hardwood, unpolyurethane floors, splatter and soak into the wood, leaving no residue because, well, ectoplasm.
Yeah, she's here. She's doing great.
Chuckles. He goes,
And you, my son, I know you live
he's like,
you are an electronic music composer, is that correct?
It is.
I'm aware you must live a life rife with drugs and alcohol, is that correct as well?
You mean, do I use?
Yes.
No.
I'm very glad to hear it because you will need to have a sharp wit and a stronger mind, a keen mind, in order to do what needs to be done. How is your lady friend? Is she well?
I just kind of look over to the pews and just see her just sitting there, just staring up at the crucifix.
I think so.
A solid answer as any. And you, my lady, you seek to help animals, is that correct?
I just nod.
A gentle heart breeds a wise mind. It's like that we're going to need your help as well. The work that we have to do is tragically dirty.
Why are we here?
Portland has a problem, dear.
and he starts kind of pacing around as he speaks. He's like,
I don't know when it happened, and I don't have all the details that we need. But I believe that when someone passes and they have things that are not done, I am not ignorant that my faith has a different belief on things. But I believe that the middle world, before you pass on, I don't know what you call it,
out of character, by the way, he's referring to Twilight.
it's very much a purgatory state. And you move onward. Correct?
He's kind of like looking at all you guys. He was like,
There are places other than there, correct?
all of you have had very, 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 very brief glimpses of the Underworld. You know there's something other than Twilight.
Okay. I wasn't sure if our
That's
characters
why.
would.
That's why I'm
I was like,
clarifying.
Okay. What were to happen if all of those people that were dead and dying, the ones that didn't actually choose to stay here, had nowhere to go? What would happen to them? It's a rhetorical question. I'll save you the effort. He's like, they would go mad. Of course. In Portland, the dead are going mad. They are not leaving. And I have seen things these past couple of months. Horrible things. Those dead that should have been moving on are forcing their way into the living. And I have seen things.
And he kind of, again, he turns his eyes downward and he reaches up after a moment and wipes away what seems to be a tear.
It is an awful thing. And we are not quite capable of dealing with it.
He was like,
But I'm hoping that maybe you all have the solution. And I believe I have found a friend that somehow seems to be very important to this whole situation. Would you be capable of meeting him? He seems a bit lost.
I would. Yeah, but you have to answer one question.
Yes, child.
When I got this letter,
Yes.
it was post-dated before, you know, the whole death thing.
Yes.
You want to explain a little bit about that?
I would if I could. I believe, I forget the name of the term, but there's some manner of writing you do in a trance, where you close your eyes and you allow your hand and the pen to do the work. Telegraphic writing, perhaps? I forget. But it was not my will to write those words. I was just the tool. It was the Lord who called you to me.
The Lord speaks again.
Lord Jasmine. Queen. Goddess of destruction.
She's growing angrier by the second.
I agree by the second.
She demands sacrifices. I forget where we were.
He was saying, you were asking about how he knew to send the letters.
Ah.
And he was pretty much like, I fucking didn't. Something controlled my hands and I wrote the letters.
Oh, okay. I mean, that makes sense. With the weak iPad.
But remember, you are blessed. You are still standing, are you not?
Yeah.
One could argue you are cursed, but I prefer to say you have guardian angels.
Water
Meanwhile,
dripping all on his
meanwhile,
head.
she's-
Water dripping all down onto him.
Yeah.
Lenny's Geist is just like putting her fingers up and down through the slits in her face, you know?
I'm just
It's
petting
just-
a purring fox next to me.
You again, they're all pissed off at you.
Just sitting there batting her hanging eye. Trying to put it in and just watch it fall out.
No. Okay. Yeah. I'm good.
All right, yeah, let's do it.
With that said, all right. Allow me to, maybe you can help my friend. I think he's my friend, I don't know. He's been here for days now, just going through the motions.
And he kind of waves you to a back room, a door that's open. And as he leads you to the back room, you notice that there's been a light just turning off and on and off and on and off and on.
Is that
Yes.
a fire
Can I
hazard?
call my Geist to come back down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that it wasn't separated.
He's like,
I tried shutting the door to not be distracted by his activities, but when I tried to shut the door, he didn't seem to take too kindly to it.
And he kind of lets loose a little chuckle. As he leads you to the back room, you see this form turning the lights off and on, but you can't get quite a good look until finally he turns his head. It just leaves the light on. Seth, describe your character.
All right, you see a man who's in his early 40s. He's wearing a business suit, but there's char marks all crisscrossed back and forth across it. You can see there's proof of his death upon him. And he's got dark brown hair, brown eyes, and his suit looks a little out of style, like it's from, about 40 years ago or more. Can't probably gonna say it's from the 70s. And he just kind of stares at you and just smiles, like he can tell that
Oh, you know what they are because that aura that they have.
Right. That's why he just smiles at you, and you can tell that you're not just normal people, and that you can see him.
More importantly, all your dice see him very quickly, and they aren't taking too kindly to him. Like they're very defensive.
He does give off a dark presence.
Is his face charred too, or just the suit?
Mostly it's just a suit that you can see those crisscross marks all the way down to his legs, like almost like burned scores on the clothes.
Okay.
That the cotton, those like cotton suits that stop the spreading of the fire. That clearly he was on fire or something happened to him.
Do you wish to introduce yourself? Because now that they can see you very clearly. They can see you, and you can see him quite as clearly as if he was a normal person.
My
He seems like a
kitsune.
darker hue. Your Kitsune's hair is on edge, hackles
Growling
raised,
low.
growling low, yeah.
So his smile broadens a little more, and he kind of looks at you and goes,
Maybe you've heard of me. I am Craig Athlon, after all.
You guys can get...
I was gonna say, I just look back and I see Peggy's head just cocked back, just going.
Good reaction from Jazzy. I don't know what it was. All right. Guess your character sheet, dude? Just because you're the closest. Give me a... Man, I forget the rolls. That is hilarious. Give me a intelligence plus occult or academics, whatever's higher. Give me a roll. Do you know the dice system yet? You have no clue, do you? All right, so you'll roll a 10-sided die. You'll roll 10-sided die.
"Yep."
8, 9s, or 10s are successes. 10s you roll again. If you get just a 1 with no successes, that's called a botch.
Do I get a plus because of what I know in it? Like,
You'll
I'm
add
thinking
them.
D&D rules, so that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, of course. So
Like
say
my
for example,
academics, I have 2 dots in it. If I
So
roll for academics,
you would roll your academics
the
plus
dice
intelligence.
instead of-
Typically, you roll a skill and an attribute. And I'll tell you whether or not to subtract or add dice based on the roll.
Sin Eater?
Okay.
Right. Dice or Sin
so
Eater?
they try to determine what I am.
What's that, guys?
Yeah,
As a Sin Eater?
No, roll for the Sin Eaters. The
Roll for
Sin
the-
Eaters.
Okay.
What's that?
No, he already answered for me.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Intelligence and academics?
Or occult.
Yeah, okay.
I'll let you use either, whichever's higher.
I mean, it could be worshipped.
Well, no, not occult. Occult, which is like supernatural stuff.
This was my first roll with this set, and I have 0 successes.
That bodes well. Hey, it's not a botch.
That's
Not,
Right?
it's not Nick level.
It's not Nick level. If it were Nick, he'd already have like 2 1s.
No
and
botches.
the other,
Great, if
and
it-
the other die would fall off the table, bounce, and hit my dog in the eye.
If it was Nick level, your character just
Botch, I
explodes.
figured I'd just tell them anyway, so they didn't know. I'd just be disgruntled about it.
Also, if you do botch, you can choose. You can choose to try to re-roll that 1 die, right? Can't you choose to roll the botch die?
Yeah. But we
Or-
always take it.
You can either choose to re-roll that botch die if you get just the 1 and no successes. You can choose to try to get around it and try to, not have that botch. But if you choose to take the botch, you get extra bonus experience at the end. Because it drives the story when shit goes wrong.
Okay.
Just so you know.
That's also how we got our name.
It's also how we got the name.
Because we're greedy.
Because they're greedy. It has cost characters' lives trying to get that XP. But I let them take it and roll it over to their next character, so they're still like, fucking worth it, alright.
All right.
Okay.
I got 2, by the way.
So you have no clue. You got 2 successes?
1.
You got 1, and you got 2? You heard and actually even read the book at one point about this guy. What was your nickname?
Now he was known as the Body Snatcher because he would leave the head behind, but the bodies were never found.
And neither was his body until a while after when he went missing after the crimes, correct?
Yeah, police found his body smoldering in an apartment, still hooked up to cables.
But they never found who did it. I'm sticking
Correct.
to that. We're going with that. I
That's
don't know
why
if you
he's
said
a
it or not, but-
vengeful spirit.
Yeah.
He wants revenge.
So you heard about it, but you've actually got some background.
Holy shit.
What? Who are you?
And as you say, holy shit, he smiles, seems almost gets wider, like he's just happy you recognize him, that his fame has touched you in some way.
Oh, by the way, you can have an extra essence, by the way.
I don't know
Because
how much I had to begin with.
Well, no, essence is that thing that you have that allows you to burn the stuff to get your powers to work.
Oh. So how am I supposed to start with, though? That I don't know.
I'm gonna get that for you right now.
Is that something you didn't tell me?
I thought I did that. I'm sorry. That was when I was doing all the character sheet stuff.
That's the case.
I only know essence as it pertains to immortals. It's different.
It's okay. I'm like right there, I think. No, not.
I hope someone explains who I am to you.
You're not gonna.
He already knows. My character's extremely happy.
Yeah, he gets off on the fact he doesn't have to do it. He does. He's like, haha, you know me.
That's what he wants.
Spread my story.
Say my name.
He's narcissistic, like most serial killers.
Oh, I hate you already.
Gee.
I mean,
thanks.
my character.
Yeah, well, your character's like a borderline SJW more than likely.
I'm not crying on the inside.
On the inside.
It's good.
Your tears of joy.
So when you
Let's
get
go,
to that
Christoph.
point in the chat, it's like, oh, okay. There's Fizzerose here.
You know, we're better with that paper.
It does. I know.
I-
It's just because I thought I knew the page number already.
He was wrong.
I was wrong.
All right, I rage quit. Flip the table.
It's
Oh my god,
glass.
please do it as glass.
There we
That
go.
way we can get a new one.
1, 8,
No, we'll
5.
have to play on the
My
floor.
rule always was. It's not my house.
I found
That
it.
was not a rule that he gave you, though.
Don't
It
you
was
fucking
not.
start adding to his shit, please.
Wait a minute.
It's hard enough
Is
for
that
me
a
to.
folding table over there?
Oh yeah. Yeah, but look at the height of these couches.
Oh yeah.
It would work perfect for you.
Hey, you know what's
Yeah.
even better?
Screw everybody else.
That's a collapsible folding table. You know what that also means? You can adjust the leg height.
No, can't.
Not on all of them.
Nope.
Yeah.
Your
Some-
essence.
some you can, though.
You have 10 essence. Now you have 11. All right. So ghosts get their essence back by holding on to anchors and people remembering them.
Excellent. I appreciate the.
I probably shouldn't have
I
told you that.
appreciate the role.
Yeah.
You helped me out, man.
Feed me. All right. So you know who he is.
So I turn to Nick and I go,
You know who that is, right?
Nick has an idea.
You think I've heard of him before.
Grace?
I don't know what's happening. Who is this?
This is
You
one of
disappoint me not knowing who I am.
he loses an
Sorry?
essence.
No, he's already got enough.
This is one of the most sick and twisted motherfuckers ever.
I'll take that as a compliment, honestly.
This is Craig Athlon, the body snatcher.
Oh,
None of, you
okay.
haven't heard this?
No. But I mean, judging by the nickname, and by my growling fox over here, probably not a good guy.
Think Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh.
Did you mention that you ate the bodies?
Yeah, he said
Okay.
He
I'm
said
just making sure
cannibalistic.
that was mentioned. I just didn't want
cannibalistic.
that to escape anybody. That's
Yeah,
fine.
cannibalistic.
What do you think he did with the bodies?
Serial killer.
I was just making sure. I didn't want that.
Oh,
Particular-
notes right here.
I know, I
did you
took
mention
names.
that? I don't know if I
I didn't take
mentioned. No, I was at 25 kills before. That was tied to me.
25 that were confirmed.
Correct.
I know where you're going
At
with
the time
that.
of my death, 25 are confirmed. It was me.
Have you seen The Frighteners?
No. Fuck. I don't watch trash.
You can't say it's trash if you don't even know what it is.
If you mentioned it, it's probably trash.
You're such a dick.
So with
Everyone in the
this,
pit's gonna be like, we like Seth. He's pushy.
He's edgy.
I know of at least one fan that's gonna be like, I like
have
it.
long hair.
All right, so
so with this new info, I'm just taking a step back away from Seth and the body snatcher.
This dude literally cut off the heads of his victims, take the bodies, and just leave the heads and never found the bodies.
One more step back.
I say that you make fine barbecue.
I kind of chuckle to myself. I'm like,
That's kind of ironic.
you heard that. I'm gonna say you heard that.
And I step closer to Lenny's character. And it seems my smiling face all turns very grim.
I need to point out though that this is a ghost and you're a fucking sin eater. Your Geist is behind you like, fucking
screaming.
let
even
me go.
louder.
Let it happen. Let's fucking do this. Father goes,
Is there something wrong?
Oh, it's kind of funny we met him in a church.
he's a bit confused. He's like,
Did you say What name did you say?
Oh, even predators hide in churches.
Does the priest hear that?
No.
He can't hear me. I'm a ghost.
Not that you can tell.
All right. I'm just like.
Not that you can tell.
Father, you don't know what you have here?
No, child. We're a church. We take in anybody who needs assistance. That's what we do.
You have probably a very good argument for the Antichrist here.
Well, no, because the Antichrist would not just die. Who is this? What are we talking about? I'm very confused.
Does the name Craig Athlon mean anything to you?
Yes.
Yeah.
My child, please remember something. I need to point out. This wayward spirit is probably lost and confused. It may not know who it truly is.
Oh yes, help me, Father. I need all the help.
He smiles.
Father, it knows.
I just like how Father, it knows. Like you're
Yeah, he's fully aware of who he is.
No, but he could be faking it in order to get the attention.
All right, so I read the book, so I know how he died.
Yeah.
You can't fake that.
And I'm like,
I know you can't see it. This guy literally has striations across his body.
all right.
Are you aware how he died? Are you aware how Craig Athlon died?
Why, I remember he got the chair, correct? He was electrocuted.
In a sense.
so they actually know how you died, right?
They know someone killed me. Yeah.
Okay, so
I was
they
basically
never found
strung
out
up
who?
from like rafters by chains.
Yeah.
And they're wrapped around my body, and then someone hooked up a
Jumper
car
cables.
battery,
Yeah.
jumper cables to the chains and electrocuted me basically to death.
They-
And left it there and walked out. Like
Yeah.
I was still being electrocuted when the cops found me.
This guy literally was hung from the rafters by chains and was hooked up to a car battery and electrocuted.
My son, this is a church. If he committed such crimes, he would not be able to enter. This is a sanctified, holy place.
I was like,
I
Craig just
just
laughs
chuckle.
at that. Open-faced laughs like a Joker laugh.
Oh, he's very amused right now.
Didn't you just say churches accepted all?
Yes,
Well,
but it heals you.
You've accepted.
It heals you. It purifies of your dark thoughts.
I look to him again.
You confess to the Father, and He blesses you with His forgiveness.
He thinks you're telling a joke.
I'm keeled over and slapping my knee because this is the best thing I've heard in such a long time.
It's like one of the first times you felt any sort of emotion in a long time. Like you're
You've purified his sense of humor.
So, you're accepting of all?
Of all. And that's kind of why I brought you here at the time I asked you to be here.
Your parishioner count maybe must be like near zero.
It's funny you say that. I wish to speak to you about this. Normally at this time, it's Sunday. Well, fortunately, I brought you here at a time. Part of the reason I brought you here is we have a small graveyard in the back. And it's all the families of the town that have come here.
because this is just outside Portland, by the way. Portland's a city. This is just outside of Portland, this little church. And at this time, you actually start hearing cars pulling up outside. And he's like,
It's the time of every Sunday where we go and visit the family that have passed. We know they have moved on and they are no longer within, but we believe it brings healing to the families to remember the past.
Where did you commit the murders?
not here. You wherever you want to say, but not here.
Originally, I was gonna go with like New York or Boston.
Okay.
You can
One of-
choose.
One of the major
It
cities.
doesn't matter.
All right, that's fine. That's all I want to know.
I'll go
You
with
said
Boston.
we hear
so
cars pulling up?
Yes.
It's easier.
My kitsune is going to any nearest window it can see.
Yeah.
to
It's like
check it out.
So,
It's a pentagon,
Exactly.
yes.
kind of paws up in the window, looking out.
Yep.
I'm gonna go to the window and I'm just gonna put my hand out there and just go.
So very hungry.
Are you going? The second he goes near the window where the kitsune is, the kitsune just turns and starts growling, and you are scared for a moment because it's a fucking big ass wolf. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm teetered for a second, but
Thank you.
it does not stop me from my ravenous feelings that I have staring at the window at the living.
It would be true. Okay. Okay.
Father, I don't think it's safe to bring those parishioners in here.
It's okay, child. He cannot touch them. If he is in the world that you guys see, he can no longer interact with them anyway.
You sure about that?
So,
Wait, before you say that, I just turn and go to Peggy. I'm like,
Like, is that true?
it kind of gives like a slow nod. Like,
Okay.
typically ghosts, unless they have a ton of anger and fury and shit like that, can't interact with them.
Okay.
He's not wrong, but we're not metagaming.
So, as this is happening, and what happens is the family, they're not coming directly into the church first. First, they go out to the, the cemetery, and they wish to, say their things to their family. And the thing that's really weird is any sort of any sort of graveyard you guys have driven by, you've seen the giant stone gate. Every single graveyard. The thing that's weird is the minute you hit Portland, in like the outside areas, you don't see those gates anymore. You haven't seen a one since you've gotten there. Something feels wrong. So the cars all pull up, and before they come inside the church to have their service, they go into the graveyard first, say goodbye to their loved ones. Father goes,
Come with me. I wish for you to see the healing process.
fuck you, Seth is like laughing already.
I'm sorry. I'm an evil character.
And he steps outside, beckoning for you guys to follow. All the pious families are like, Father Luke? Did I say Luke?
Yeah, you
Yeah, I
said
did
Luke.
say Luke, right? Okay.
My name's Luke too.
I know. But originally it was supposed to be Justin, and it switched to Luke, and that was this morning. I don't know why.
Oh, okay.
So, Father Luke is there, and he's leaning on his staff, and they're all kind of be like, Father, 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 and they're all, going there. And it's like one or two kids, but it's a good 14, 10, we'll say actually like 10 adults and like 2 kids. And they all make their way back behind the church. That's why you guys couldn't see the little graveyard that was there. It's larger than it looks because it's further back towards kind of a wooded area, and there's a clearing where it is. And you see there's a group of ghosts there. And the first thing you notice is the ghosts here don't look like the other ghosts you've seen at the other graveyards. They don't look like... Normally, the ghosts tend to look like paler blue versions of themselves. You know what I mean? These ones look like really haggard, eyes wide, mouths, their jaws are like permanently disengaged. They're literally taking their hands and clawing at their cheeks underneath their eyes, ripping flesh that is healing right behind the wounds. They seem like they're wailing, but it seems like they don't have enough force to push the air out to scream. Many of their joints are broken backwards, elbows facing the wrong way, heads snapping back and forth rapidly. You hear the vertebrae cracking and repairing themselves as they move, with the memories of the muscle and bone and sinew they used to have. And as their loved ones come over, normally, ghosts will kind of like, you don't know too much, but normally they kind of cry, or they're almost happy to see them or whatever, because they actually prefer the safety. A lot of ghosts prefer the safety of cemeteries, believe it or not. Yeah, there's an Avernian gate there, but for some reason they anchor themselves to the cemetery so they don't go anywhere. They're pretty safe there, and there's usually like one guardian ghost. The first ghost in a graveyard, for some reason, becomes almost like a magical guardian of the graveyard. It becomes a rank 3 ghost. There isn't one there. Worse, there's no Avernian gate. There's no way for these dudes to go anywhere. And you see the families going over, and the father says, he was like,
Up until a couple of months ago, there was a way for them to move. I know they're here. He's like, I know there's a healing process, but we can heal the living, but the dead are staying sick. That's why I called you all here. I was hoping perhaps that you knew a way to pull these ghosts back down to where they need to be.
spoiler alert, you don't. The Geists kind of communicate with you in their own ways that normally there is a way to open the gates, but it feels like for some reason that sort of trigger isn't resonating with them there. It's bizarre. It's not normal. What are you guys saying? What are you doing? By the way, like, you look saddened. Your Geist also. You look saddened. Your Geist is the Geist. It's definitely confused. Your Kitsune confused, and you look saddened. You're just still fucking grinning like the psychopath you are.
I just keep saying.
I'm so hungry.
just staring out the window.
Are you guys saying anything? What are you thinking? What are you doing?
I'm gonna say, Father, we're very new to this. And personally, I find it strange that we were called when we don't have this experience.
As do I. I find it strange that anybody has what you guys have.
Huh.
Deep words, Nick.
I'm 18. What's my Geist up to?
You tell me.
You're playing a Geist.
Yeah,
Womp
that's
womp.
That's true. It's new.
I know it is.
Um,
It'll help you grow.
now, besides those ghosts, is that all that can be seen?
Yeah.
In Twilight, there's no other.
I mean, there's tombstones that have fallen apart and broken in the real world that are still standing there. But that's about it. You do see there's a couple of ghosts that are just lying on the ground and not getting up.
Uh-huh. Are they also the same color?
Yeah.
What are they doing? Just the same
Just
motion?
laying there.
Huh.
They're not ripping themselves apart.
I have a question.
Yeah.
In character.
Yep.
Father, you said you had seen things these
Yes.
past few months. What have you seen, and how are you even aware of these happenings?
He's like, they've asked me to perform exorcisms. The dead have crawled their way into the living, and the living have not survived the experience. This used to happen in my youth, and I could expel them. It was a gift I have, but now they are refusing to go. We had to shoot the host last time, before he killed his daughter.
Okay.
There's something seriously wrong here. Or else I would never
Such a waste of good flesh.
have asked for any sort of help.
You guys hear him say it.
I just turned to him. You're not helping.
You're talking about I'm here to help.
You're here to eat.
Help myself to the fucking buffet. All right. Okay. So, any of you guys have anything else you want to say? Any sort of stuff?
The ones that are sitting there laying there and not tearing themselves apart. I go to the father and just kind of gesture to the tombstones of the laying ones there. I'm like, Father, how long has it been since they've been buried?
Years. Centuries. Decades.
But those two specifically.
Oh, I don't know. Long time.
I'm gonna walk and try and walk over to it and just get the death dates.
So, as you begin walking over, the families, the people that are there aren't very occupied by you. But that's when shit immediately goes south.
Surprise!
Suddenly, the dead turn to their families, the spirits, and they start they turn and they latch onto their families. They start clawing their ways down their mouths. They rip open their jaws. Some of them literally gouge in through the tear ducts of their eyes and start forcing themselves in foot first. One of them literally punches their cheek in and starts forcing themselves in arm first. The people start screaming and blood starts coating the ground as everybody turns to start fleeing, but the hungry dead start pulling them back and forcing themselves into any sort of orifice they can get in. Eardrums rupture, nostrils are broken, cavities, cartilage thrown aside. The spirits are literally forcing themselves into the living. And as the broken bodies start moving again, their eyes are no longer the same. The injuries are distorted. The bleeding doesn't stop. It seems to pick up. You don't know, but it's no longer red. It is red and brown. And they start screaming and looking around and pouncing at the other. Any of the people that showed up that there weren't enough spirits to take, the inhabited bodies literally start ripping them asunder. They're clawing at their arms, ripping off the flesh, digging through tendon, and just slaughtering the living. Blood sprays everywhere, and the screams are confusing the hell out of you. Your Geists are going out of fucking control. And that's when you just start fucking laughing. Like, Seth,
I didn't do it.
I'm glad you kids are finally here for the show. Waiting so long, so hungry.
So, alright, so you guys are stunned. Because you guys died yourselves, but you've never seen anything like this. The father's like, my God, Father, protect us. And he pulls the staff in front and starts praying. It does nothing as the hungry dead start moving their way towards you.
I just like snap my neck over to Peggy.
I assume Peggy looks over the same way, just like, the fuck is happening?
Not even screeching.
Your call.
Screech, screech.
I wouldn't do. Go ahead, give a screech. You're gonna hurt your throat.
Probably.
All right, at this point, they're starting to run towards you, screaming, and they're just charging at all of you.
So wait, is the cemetery gated?
No, it's like a little wooden garden fence. They just hop right over that shit. One of them gets a piece of wood through the ankle, and it doesn't stop them. They just run.
Are we in the back of the church?
I mean, you're
Basically.
not very far at this point.
Can you describe the layout of the church and where exactly we are in relation
Well, you
to
guys
the
just
cemetery?
stepped outside and around the church.
We all went outside?
Yeah, you
Oh,
guys all
okay.
walked outside to
Oh, I
take
thought
a
we
look.
were all looking out the window.
No, you looked at the window of the cars, and then he said,
Okay.
"Follow me," and
Okay,
you walked
okay,
outside.
My
yeah,
bad. My bad.
that's okay. No big deal. No problem.
I walk through the wall. Really? You don't want to see this?
No, you walked through the wall when they went out through the door. I assume.
Yeah.
You mean, right?
I could
Yeah.
just walk straight out
Yeah.
the window because I'm just waiting because I knew it was gonna happen.
And I have no control of the Geist right now.
You have control of your Geist.
You said they were freaking out. And they were
Well, I
running
mean,
around.
they're freaking out, but you as a player have general control of your Geist. It's your players that I need to point out. You're gonna have to roll for your players to not be stunned. Your Sin Eaters.
Okay. Will you roll for that?
Give me a Wits of Composure.
All of us?
Wits of Composure -2. Not Seth. Yep.
Always left out.
Would your guy really be panicking?
No, he's happy as could be.
There you go. This is a
He's-
panic roll. To see
He's
if it
at
freeze.
home right now. All the blood
I
and
got a
everything.
botch. you subtracted 2. I only had like 2 dice to do it.
You already botched. Are you taking the botch, or are you gonna try to roll past it?
I'm gonna roll past it. I need.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
The
Hey,
character
let
would
him
roll.
alone.
The
Let
character would roll past
Go
it.
ahead.
What do I have to roll for that?
One die. If you get a success, it's not a botch.
I think they're imitating
4.
me now.
It's a 4.
It's just a failure then.
Yeah.
It's not a botch. It's a failure.
I'm so sorry.
What?
I'm pretty sure your kids are upstairs trying to imitate me now.
That's great.
Send them home with you. All right.
I got 2.
So, you got 2 successes?
Yes.
One success.
0.
Yeah.
You just watching that feather.
So
runs
you
away.
can function, but you are freaked out. You will get minuses to certain actions depending on what they are.
Okay.
You are fine, but you're still fucking scared as shit. What are you doing,
I
guys?
pee a little. No.
Is there one that's particularly closer to us than anything else, or are they all just
You guys have a
charging-
turn before they're on
charging as a group?
you. You guys have a turn before they're on you.
Okay.
A turn each before they're there.
How many are there?
7. 7 of them. And for the record, they're corporeal.
So we can't hit them.
No, you can. Incorporeal means you can't.
Oh,
Corporeal
sorry.
means you can. So, yeah, you've got a turn before they're on you. Lenny, you can go. And Nick, you don't even get a turn.
Yep.
you'll take. You're gonna wait. You're gonna go last.
This ain't fair. My people.
I just turn and start like running away. Just go, Peggy!
She's running too. She's going. She doesn't know if they can hurt her or not. She doesn't know, but she knows she doesn't want none of this.
Oh shit.
You're frozen. You just
Yeah, I
stand
can't
there
do
and
anything.
gawk.
So I can only ride my kitsune in the Underworld?
Yes.
Trying to make a getaway.
Yeah, I'm running with him.
All right, so you both turn.
Yeah,
and
we're
just
just-
leave, dude.
Oh, shoot. I
Hey,
forgot
well,
you.
It's
To
okay.
be honest, is it what your characters would do?
I don't know what the
Just
fuck's
turn and
going
run?
If I'm that terrified?
Yeah. It's a total logical thing to do.
Probably, yeah.
Seth, you see all this happening. You see the blood, chaos, and carnage. He turns and hauls ass. She turns and starts hauling ass, and he's just like,
I'm just reveling in this. Like, my character's just on his own high because of it.
all right. The hungry dead are about to pass you on their way to them. Are you just going to stand there and watch?
I don't know. You gonna allow me to be what I want to be?
Yep.
Fine.
You're so sad to let him do it.
No, I'm not.
So I reach towards my back and underneath my burnt up coat, and I pull out a mask. I don the mask.
I knew it was coming. I had a feeling. I had a huge feeling the whole entire time. I'm like,
And as I put
He's
the
not a
mask
ghost.
on,
Oh, he's a ghost.
yeah,
no,
now.
not anymore. I'm not.
Yeah.
As I put the mask on, my body starts to solidify in the real world, and you see a red and black, like burned skin victim with giant black wings and a black skull just appear like this demonic angel, and just cries out
I am so hungry.
as it rips back its head and opens up like this maw in its chest to suck in souls near it.
Does that include the priest?
Nope, just the ghost is going for.
It doesn't pull them in. They're in bodies.
Now freeze them and then rip them
Well,
out.
your turn is putting on the death mask. That's
That's
an
fine.
instant action.
I just turned and run past the priest.
Say Antichrist.
Actually,
That priest is gonna run
hold
now.
on a second. I never even rolled for the priest.
Yeah.
The priest better be scared.
Oops. I'll give him 2 dice.
You're so kind.
The priest may fucking die already. I was gonna use him as a character.
Yep, he did.
Oh no.
You botch.
No.
No.
You failed.
He stood there and froze with you.
Yeah. We're both frozen.
All right. So
So wait, how many turns do we have before they're on us?
you have more turns because you turned and ran. You're okay because you turned and ran. You and the priest are both right there.
I'm just gonna. Can I just yell over my shoulder at him? Start swinging! Because he has the baseball bat.
All right, so that's okay. That's okay. All right, plan. Okay, good. Adapted. So here's what we're going to do. As you turn, you're standing there. The priest was further ahead of you. Remember how I said he stepped forward and said hello to the families and they were talking to him?
Yeah.
So he's a bit further ahead.
It's gonna taste so good.
They literally start trampling on him, stop, turn their skid, and start digging into him, screaming and trying to pull him apart. Yeah,
Oh.
How many times has he been hit?
I rolled like ass.
You rolled a 4 and a 2.
You can take a character that you want to be important, and if you roll like ass, it doesn't matter, man. Like 4 of them stop and start digging into him, and he's screaming. They still have a little bit of distance before they reach you. Are you still? It's your turn again, Lenny. I assume you're still running because you didn't put that much distance between you guys yet.
So how far am I from Nick?
A turn's worth of running. I don't know what Nick's face is right now. He's got a very stoic face.
My character would be so pissed they actually ran.
I mean, we abandoned.
My guy's like a leader and everything, and they literally let this old man die.
So
I'm pissed.
You have to like
That's
me.
what's going through my.
I'm still there, man.
Yeah, you are.
I got your back,
He's
bro.
pissed.
The serial killer Reaper has your back. And the other 2 sin eaters fucking ran.
I'm not gonna run. I'm not afraid of death.
all right. So I'm gonna look to my left. I'm sure I see her in the kitsune.
A little bit behind you. Yeah.
Okay. And then I look behind me to my right.
Give me a resolve check. Give me a roll for resolve -1. Yeah.
It's a fail.
You're fucking scared, man. I mean, you could burn a willpower to try to fight being scared, but that'll be your willpower burn for the session, you know?
Okay, so I obviously see him. He's still standing there.
Who, Nick?
Yeah.
Nick, give me a resolve check. Give me a roll of resolve -1. Yeah. Actually, give me another composure check. How's that? Give me another composure. What's a composure? -2. -1. -1. Go ahead and roll one more. Take 2. Take 2. Roll 2.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Oh my god.
One in a second.
It's so good to be
Wait,
back,
no,
isn't it, Nick?
Give me another. I mean, you gotta take the botch. Remember, 8, 9s, and 10s are successes.
Yeah.
Are you gonna take the botch or are you gonna re-roll it? You are not rolling 100 on these dice, dude.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Got a 1. I have to see if this can work.
Well, I'm gonna flip that. And I'm gonna give you a success.
Okay.
You can now choose your action. You're
Choose
not
the
frozen.
action?
You're not frozen.
I'm gonna see if I can do this. That's the only thing.
The last thing the priest saw before the dudes fucking swallowed him up was your ass.
Beautiful burnt
Is he,
demonic
is he
angel.
dead right now, or is he being attacked?
He's got to be dead. He's being torn apart.
What? He's
You said they just
screaming.
got to them.
Yeah, he's screaming. They just kind of swamped over him and knocked him on the ground and started trying to
just
dig
eat him.
Huh? Don't you just try to count him as dead so you
Can I
have
just eat him?
What's that?
I just want to eat him. I'm very hungry.
There's lots of other people you can eat. But remember,
I'm ravenous.
right now, those dudes are like candy to you because you don't eat living people. Those don't interest you. It's the dead inside of the living that you got to get to. Which means you got to
But the flesh
Which-
still.
think of them like this
is
way.
ecstasy to
No,
my
it doesn't give you
character.
anything. It's the only.
No, I'm saying that's what he still.
But it's only
His
the.
human self still feels.
So is it like your ghost has nostalgia for human flesh?
Well,
He
here's
does,
the thing.
'cause
You
he's a cannibal.
hunger for the
Yeah.
ghost. Yeah, but you hunger
I don't
for
like
the
that
ghost
one, Nick.
flesh.
Right.
So
I'm not
think
sure
of
if
it
I
like
can
this
do
way.
this at my level.
Think of it as a peanut M&M. The outside doesn't taste anything to you over that. Peanut
No, I
inside is what you
understand that
want.
completely.
Okay.
My character, but it's a fact that even the sight of human flesh being torn apart
Just
still
excites him.
drives him, and it's like
Okay.
it's a great feeling for him. I mean, he was.
Is he a
what he was.
psychopath?
Yes.
And don't worry,
exactly.
guys. He's not an OP Reaper. He's a balanced Reaper. Oh, he tried though. he fucking tried.
I had some good
He
manipulations.
tried. He immediately,
still have 'em.
Immediately, he looked for descent. He was like, "I want the one that allows me to take city fucking blocks to the underworld." I was like, "No, you would need 3 others anyway." He was like, "I can get him on board."
Whatever. I got Moliere.
You literally could.
That's all I need. He even stopped me on that one.
I had,
Because he
I had
saw
to.
my trick in
I
that
had
too.
to. He's looking through the rules already. He's like, I'm like, no. He's like, well, you can't do it. He's like, you're ruining this.
Yep. I promise I'll be a good DM.
Oh, I am. I can't let you do everything.
Why can't I keep Moliere?
You know damn well why you can't have the Moliere.
It no longer makes me vulnerable.
That's why you gotta watch.
My precious.
If I do a haunt, can I pull burn a willpower?
What haunt?
Call.
What's it do?
Transforms my body. Merges with the Geist.
If you burn a willpower, can you do it instantly, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll let you do it.
Nick, use the tray, please.
See if this helps him. Didn't help the priest. Didn't help him either.
Didn't help.
Roll in the paper. No, just no
I'm not
successes.
Yeah, I'm doing terrible.
You need to roll on a book, dude. I think you need to roll on a book.
No. I don't know what it is.
Give this dude a book. Nick, grab a book. Is that your player's handbook, Jill? That thing's well worn. I like it.
You want me to roll on paper?
I'm not saying that as an insult either. Like, it's a book. You can tell you've used the shit
Yeah.
out of that book. I like it.
Appreciate that.
That's not too, which is funny.
But use the book. No, I'm the same way, but still,
My
when I
book's
see it,
pristine. Even my DM book, which is sad.
I have like six
We're
sets of
doing a
rolls.
quick experiment. Don't mind us.
I got one. One.
If you're superstitious like me, I would just change dice.
I did.
Again.
Yeah.
That's all
All right,
of
Seth.
his
Or you
dice.
buy new dice.
Seth, real quick, Dice literally loathe him. We went to PAX East and went to level up Dice.
Yeah.
They were trying so hard to push Dice on this kid, and we were laughing our asses off. And the guy was like looking at us, and we're like, "You don't understand. Dice hate him."
Yeah. They do
So-
not like me.
He literally,
No
the guy literally gave him a D10 to roll, right? Because that's what we're used to playing with.
Yeah, yeah.
And Nick rolls a 2. I have never seen so much excitement come from any other human being in my life.
we all
Either
did.
way,
Yeah.
I
You're just not
understand.
failing. You're just not getting it done.
No, the last 3 rolls I got a success, but
You got a success?
yeah, but it didn't
I'm gonna let you do
count.
it. You sure?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
We just have to figure out your method.
Yeah.
I wasted all their
Sorry.
ink and paper.
I
just paid for the plastic sheets
What-
in the binder.
Hey, Mark, if you're listening, stop.
He's not gonna listen.
Mark McConey specifically. Any other Marks? Thanks for listening. Mark, stop.
I just want to say, Chris made me do it.
Yeah, it's about right.
It wasn't me.
My boss.
Of him not though.
I had permission, I swear.
I can't give you permission. You have a higher title than me.
Not you. you piece of
Oh, okay. I was like,
Ryan
I
said it was
can't give
okay.
to you. You're like, hey Tio, can I print this? Okay.
You're gonna allow me to do it?
Yeah.
Okay, so the call, you know what that does?
No.
Okay, you fuse with the Geist, and you can you wear it like a suit.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I do that,
Uh-huh.
and I change it so the legs are like spider legs,
Okay.
and I run at them with the bat.
All right. Okay. So we have 2 horrifying misfits so far. Okay.
And they can see him same way.
Yeah.
Oh, so he solidified the same way I did. Okay.
Yeah, and with the bat, it also gets spikes on it. Just our bones turn into
Oh,
the bite
I
like
see.
it's
Like you
club.
coated it over, and okay, I like that. Okay, cool.
So it's
Good
more
idea.
like a spike bat.
God, Nick.
That is cool.
It's like a, it's the bat, but it has bones. So
I
it's
get
like
you, and I like it.
Cool.
2 freaks working together. It works out.
I told you two specifically. I was like, you're gonna get along just fine. And the cool thing is, in this book, unlike in first edition where Reapers were like overpowered antagonists you couldn't play as, now they're overpowered characters that you need to just be careful with what things people think. And Reapers and Sin Eaters actually have a ton in common now. When
They
before
also hate each other.
they can, but sometimes they work together too. Not often, but say there's a particular need that they have that
You're welcome.
that a Reaper can do that they can't do. Guess what Reapers can do?
Fly? I can fly too.
With the right thing. Don't you bred this.
I actually.
Don't you bred this.
He won't let me fly even with wings.
I didn't say that. If you've got the appropriate things and it's done correctly, I didn't say you couldn't do it. I don't say no to a lot of things, dude. I'm careful with how much
you're
you
gonna
have.
let a demonic angel fly around the sky where people can see me.
I'll fly
I
with
didn't
you.
say no.
We'll fly together.
Done.
I did.
Nick's on
I
the
have
good
wings
list.
now.
Nick's on the good list. Just have spider web wings.
Yeah.
Just fly
They've
out.
done. Brad has done this. He flew away on vagina lips. This is not anything. It happened. It happened.
What did I just tune into?
She checked
You
out for a
did
minute.
not- yeah, I
She
was
came
gonna
say- I
back
was reading
and
the book.
flying vagina lips. That's what snapped her back to reality.
God, the sad thing is that is our reality.
It really happened. Yeah, Brad really did it. He fucking took to the skies on Volva. Just whee! Just winged it away. His
Is
head
this
flapping around like the little
recorded?
clitoris it is. Like,
Some of this is on recording.
yes.
What section?
Oh, maybe it wasn't on recording. It was part of the
No.
zoo campaign.
No, it's when you guys were talking about. No, it was session 17.
Because it was before
That
I
was
had
like-
it. It was before I had him fix it over to second edition.
Yeah.
Because I think that was the time where I went, okay, we've jumped the shark. I was like, you're not flying away on vulva lips. I'm not doing it. He's like, well, they're not really vulva lips. I'm like, you grab flaps of your flesh, outstretch them, and flapped away. I was like,
Oh my
you
God.
mid. The shark has been jumped. We're done. So, okay.
That's
this-
fine.
At this point, everything has gone south.
Just like the second.
You hauled ass. You hauled ass. And now it's you and you.
Fine, I just want to rip somebody
You
apart.
did your turn to transform and get ready.
Yeah, I grabbed my bat.
What are you
Yeah,
doing?
no worries.
What are you doing now? Because mind you, you can't claim their ghosts for the Underworld until you peel them out of those little fleshy suits.
You know, I'm perfectly fine with that.
I'm sure you are.
In that case,
God, they're working together already.
He's already very good at cutting off heads.
so
You see him transform and do his shit too, and you're actually impressed because you've never seen anybody do
I
this
would
shit.
I would love to smile and show expression, but I'm just a skull face right now, so it's kind of hard.
You know how it do.
But no, I will pull my favorite tool of my trade and pull out a knife.
Okay.
and I will go after the closest.
The
one
ones
to
that
me.
are closest to you are the ones that descended upon the father.
Well, then I would. If they're distracted, I don't want to walk up to them, so I just stab one right in the back of the neck.
Okay, you stab it in the back of the neck. It screeches, blood sprays backwards, coating your skull mask, and it literally snaps its head 180 degrees, bone and vertebrae snapping, as it reaches its arms up over its shoulders, grabs you by that head, starts trying to pull off the mask.
All right. No, it's fine. So while it does that,
This
if
is
it's turning
fine.
its head 180 degrees and I have my knife in it, wouldn't my knife drag around?
No, because you
the
said you
neck?
stabbed it. Did you say you stabbed it in the back?
The
No,
back
the
of the
back
neck.
of the skull.
Back of the neck, I said.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, because that's where my
Sorry.
favorite spot would be. I would want to decapitate them. That's my serial killer's way.
Okay, then allow me to. You know what? Give me a. Let's take a look here. God, it's been so long. Give me a. Weaponry plus dexterity. No, plus strength. I'm going to say weaponry plus strength. Roll. Weaponry is using things like knives and crap. And strength as
How many
well.
dice do I roll?
So you roll the number of dots that you have for each of those.
1 dot is a die.
Weaponry, you roll 2 dice plus strength.
Just 2.
And I'm not, yeah. And I'm not having you subtract anything because it wasn't paying attention to you.
So you're rolling 4.
8, 9s, 10s are successes. 10s you get to roll again.
That's 10, 9, a 2, and a 4.
Roll that 10 again.
5.
All right. Well, okay, so you succeeded in jabbing it into its neck. How long is the knife?
I was thinking he's basically using like
Chef's knife.
no, like a kukri.
How long is it? Show me
Kukri's
your-
like a small machete, so it'd be like that.
All right. So you do that. You do that as it turns and it spins its head to look at you. Its head does lop off, and the ghost's disembodied, howling face stretches out, screaming at you from the stump that was its old head.
So it sticks out.
Yeah.
I would like to lean down and just bite into it.
Give me a.
So casual.
I am so hungry.
Give me a. Strength plus brawl. It'll be -1.
So I'm just rolling.
Can I point out I'm looking at the Geist of Sinews 2nd edition character sheet, and we found a couple of bugs here and there in the book. I know. We found a couple, but I think my favorite is the fact that it goes from athletics to bra now.
Yeah, right.
It was a 7.
You got a 7?
Yeah.
Okay, you try to pull it in, and it snaps its head around before you can get, you go, you try to bite, and you go, and unnaturally bends around. Jill, give me a resolve roll, please.
Unlucky bastard.
I'm so hungry.
Okay, what do you want to do with your turn? You managed to get it in you to stop running.
Okay. How do haunt abilities work? Or how do haunts work, I guess? Is it just stuff I can call upon at any time, or? Okay. So I also have the call, which is what Nick has.
So that's the shape-shifting shit.
Yeah, you wear a suit. I just gave mine spider legs right now, but it could be anything. It could be samurai armor because that's a thing that's gonna happen.
Oh, it's not like you wear. It's not like you wear your Geist.
You know in
Yes, actually,
Adventure
it's kinda
Time,
like
Adventure Time, where Finn is like this and Jake like gets in it, like he's inside Jake and he wears Jake as a suit and runs out. That's what it is.
I'm gonna try and use the call, which basically I wear my
Give the roll.
Geist as a suit. My kitsune becomes my suit.
He's turning it into venom. I get it.
Wow. Y'all gotta be so pissy.
No, I guess I'm turning it into venom.
More like Buffalo Bill. Silence of the Lambs, baby.
What do I roll for that?
Nick,
You roll
lotion on the
synergy
skin.
plus whatever dot you have in the thing. So if you have 1 dot or 2 dot. Yeah, so you roll.
3 dice?
Well, you have 2 dots in recall.
Yeah, that's the Oracle blank.
Okay, so you roll 3. That's how I rolled.
Hey Seth, if she takes a Botch, does she get the hose again?
I believe so.
Also, let me. Did you succeed?
Don't touch my dog.
3 successes plus a 10.
She's gonna run past me.
That's how you roll, Nick.
Oh my god, another 10.
Roll it again.
Oh man. That's okay. By the way, if this went wrong and you botched, you get fused with the Geist, so you become like this like Cronenberg mess, and you can't really.
By the way, I like the Rick and Morty reference. That was good. That was good.
That's not a Rick and Morty thing. Cronenberg's a real director.
Yeah.
He did The Fly.
I did not know that.
It says I
but
go into the
What?
Twilight.
I know that from Rick and Morty.
That's why they call it the Cronenberg verse. It's based on all the Cronenberg body horror movies, like The Thing.
Well, I learned something today.
Yeah. So if you
No,
botch
the thing
that,
was
you become
John
a puddle.
Carpenter with, I
You
think,
can't really do
Cronenberg.
anything.
It says I go into the Twilight if I botch it.
Oh really?
Yeah, for the duration of the scene.
Ooh, that sucks.
Oh.
That just means you can't touch anything except for other things in Twilight. You become a ghosty.
We could be friends.
You become a Cronenberg ghosty, actually. It's funny.
Well, I have 5 successes.
Okay. What are you doing with it?
I want to run in and start, like, just biting. And
No. What do you look like? What do you become? You
My
gotta describe
Geist.
that.
I was imagining I became the Kitsune.
No, you don't become the Geist. You guys take on a form together to look like something you desire. It's
Oh.
that's why he just took
like
like
Dragon Ball Z.
spider legs.
I was gonna
and-
say like a Megazord, but
Oh, that works too.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is.
yeah.
Imagine if you were trying to do the Megazord thing and you all botched.
Oh my god.
It would
All
just
our-
be
all
one grotesque ball of
I wouldn't join in on this.
With all our guys combined, we become
terrifying.
So what if they did all form together? Then I gave them my death mask.
Well, Death Mask won't work on them because they already have Geist.
Well,
Yeah,
sucks
my
to be you.
Geist could take the death mask.
No. Really? Yeah. Because the Death Mask is the face of a Geist. A Geist can't wear another Geist.
Huh?
I mean, it's worth an experiment at some point, but I gotta look up on it. I'm 99% sure it's a no.
So I can just become anything.
It has to make
Lord.
sense.
That's
That's the only
something
thing.
you can logically form.
Something that your Geist does, and something that your character
Like, you
does.
could look like Doc Ock from Spider-Man with all the tails coming out of you.
Yeah, you could do that. Like with mine, because she walks around like the spider and does a lot of stuff. That's why the first iteration
Right.
comes out like that.
Okay, so I'm gonna be like bottom half Kitsune, so I can sprint back into this battle. So with like the animal legs, there's actually a mythological creature that has
Centaur.
No, because I'm not doing like
You hear scraping.
part horse. It's a shoot.
Inside you. It's a wolf.
Regardless, so like animal legs, so I can run back in, and I'm gonna have like claws come out, so I can go in.
That's cool.
Scratching and clawing. And yeah, I guess that's what I'll do.
Okay. So, you charge in. However, it took your turn to do the transformation.
Okay.
All right, so moving on. Lenny, what are you doing now? Because now you turn around and you see Bedlam. You turn around and you see spider legs over here starting to try to attack and just running into battle. That one's already just takes a head off and starts trying to eat the head of the ghost of the decapitated guy. She's now a giant were-kitsune, just fucking were-fox charging into battle. And you just run.
Do you have Streetwise?
Yes, I do.
Couldn't you like hotwire a car and run them over or something? That's
I
in
mean,
the parking lot.
What type of Geist are you again?
Vengeful.
So if he's running away, the parking lot's not too
So
far from there.
I have an ability for you.
Oh, there we go. I was about to pop him open. Nick, what we got?
Take the rage. Those are your 3 down the bottom.
Oh, this has got a synopsis.
The rage is a good ability for you. You know how Brad can punch a million punches, and also fly and do a billion other things? This guy's is fucking
It's
broken.
the
as
newer
fuck.
version of it.
I know. That's what he does. It's the punching.
By the way, this is what I was thinking of, but like the female version and not bard looking.
Is that a satyr?
Yes,
You
that is
couldn't
an
be any further out of place in this game.
I'm sorry to say I like mine a lot better.
That's fine.
I'm a satyr. I'm a demon angel. I'm a spider. I'm a punch things. I'm still a satyr.
This is what counts.
Exactly.
It's this.
No.
Sorry, Jill, we're vetoing your character. We're taking the weird terror centaur.
And you're welcome.
Take 2 in it.
Based it off more real life killers.
Take 2 into it. Plasma infused into the rage allows a Sin Eater to deal horrific injuries to her victims. Those Sin Eaters who manifest the rage through gross physical transformation change their limbs into blades of black iron or pillars of obsidian. The fires unlocked with the burning key. Some more stuff happens. Yeah, so you get sword arms. There you go.
Sword arms.
This is how we interpret the rules, Chris.
Yes.
Is this everything you hoped and dreamed for in Geist?
It's going well.
You dream of fabulous fox people.
Bent the rage.
Yes.
Take 2 in it. You still have another one, but I don't know what your other two are.
At least you knew what I was going to be.
Oh, I knew.
Manifestation.
Gave you a heads up for the most part.
So you would roll 2 plus... Yeah, I'd write them there, but 2 plus 1.
I like
Yeah.
how, like, when the Reaper thing
Okay.
happened, Nick was like, fucking knew it. And Lenny was like, oh, shit. Different reactions from different folks. And Jill's just like, what's he doing?
I was
I have
talked
thoughts.
into this.
Yeah, so roll 3.
I like to say that. Chris talked me into this.
It's the best power.
Yeah.
That's my favorite power your guys has.
Alright. So I'm gonna turn. I'm gonna see her being a satyr. I'll look at him and see him just beyond recognition of any sort of human being ever now. I see him cackling over there.
No, he's chewing. Trying to chew.
Cackling and chewing. He's choking.
He's chewing.
I don't know.
Sounds like I'm puking and choking. I'm choking.
That's my fetish.
So basically the ability fuses them together, right? Okay.
The call fuses them.
Okay.
So your guys can still do stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna look up to Peggy, and I'm just gonna go, can you do that?
I mean, you'd have to tell me how she reacts. She leans her head back and screeches.
Yeah.
And as she screams and her rage builds within her, you feel it building within you. And the tears of the blood from the stains on her dress that were normally brown, they turn a new vicious red, and they start bleeding again. And the blood drops to the ground, and as it drips, it flows along the cracks of the dirt and the grass until it crawls up in your arms. And your arms feel infused with her rage and her pain. And pretty much you can choose how it manifests upon your arms. That was her screeching.
That's how it manifests.
That was Peggy screaming.
You better be giving yourself blood chainsaws.
That's not how she would write it down.
Oh, okay.
Get a boomstick.
I wish.
There's nothing stopping you from getting a boomstick as this game goes along.
Eventually.
We won't have time to do it tonight, but next
I
session
know.
we've already got it all set up and everybody's all introduced.
So next thing I know, I feel the anger and the rage just build up inside. Next thing I know, I look down and I see my hands just starting to become slimmer and just jutting out more, just taking the form of a blade.
Would we say that perhaps the fingertip, the bones of your fingers, sharpen and rip out the ends of your fingertips and become blades?
Yeah, let's do that.
It's terrible.
That's what I do.
Original Wolverine going on.
Yeah, except for instead of being in the wrist, it's actually the bones of your fingers.
Yeah.
Bone claws.
Pretty badass.
Sounds uncomfortable.
Just a little.
You feel every bit of that pain, by the way. It doesn't hurt you. It does not give you any sort of minuses, but you feel the pain.
That's fine. It makes me angrier.
Yep, there you go.
And then I'm gonna start charging towards the undead horde.
Okay, Nick, your turn.
Okay. I'm running towards the priest. With
All
the
right,
bat
you're
in
running
hand.
towards the pile that he's on top of, trying to bite at. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm on the side. I
Yeah.
decapitated one of them. I was trying to eat the spirit out of the neck.
So when but they were all on top of him.
Oh, okay.
So you were like perched on one. You're like perched on him.
Just mind my wings.
So I'm going to avoid him, but I'm going to take the bat. And as I'm running, just swing with it.
Give me a strength and brawl. No, sorry, strength and weaponry. No minuses.
Strength and weaponry. Strength.
It's a good hit. Not a single one.
Oh my god!
Nick, you just rolled 6 dice.
I know.
Hey,
I'm
no
gonna bring my
botches. That's
bucket of dice
progress.
next
No, there's a 1.
Chris just thought he found the silver lining. I just
Are we
watched
accepting
his
the
face.
botch, or are you rolling?
Do it. Do it.
The character wouldn't do it.
What is Nick gonna do though?
Nothing. You knocked another one into a 0, though.
I'm gonna give it to you.
Such
Move the game on.
shenanigans.
Yeah, it's
Two
shenanigans.
successes.
It's not bullshit. What's that?
2 successes.
All right, you managed to smack into one, and it does 3 damage, but it gets stuck on your bat, and it turns around, starts trying to claw at you while it's impaled on it. The blood is. You start waving the bat, and blood is now flying everywhere. It hits you, feels delicious. It hits
You
you,
know it
feels
does.
gross.
Seth just gets bloody bukkake.
You play your fucking flute or lute
My
angrily
day, all right?
in your. She's playing a fucking bard transplant in this game. I don't know what the fuck's
I
happening
don't
over
have
there
a musical instrument.
yet.
I can whistle if you like.
Close. All right, so
it.
you're like,
Get a dog whistle.
and it's just stuck and snapping at you. What are you doing, Seth?
Is it like...
Yeah, it's screaming. It's screaming.
I'm just whistling Flight of the Conchords.
It's just whistling. It's just screaming. And like clawing at you. Yeah, it's accurate.
So I want to know, is the spirit still like dangling out of the neck?
Yeah,
All right. and
you
is
see it starting to try to pull its way out of the body now that it no longer has a purpose in it. It's trying to claw its way out. The body's going limp as it pulls itself
If that's
out
the
of the
case,
suit.
then I want to pull my head back and open up like my actual like body to
As
suck
soon
it
as you
in.
do that, it starts trying to hold on to the corpse. Give me a strength plus brawl.
One and a 2.
We botched.
Are you gonna accept the botch? You're gonna roll it and try to pass it.
It's a rite of passage, Seth.
You could choose.
You could choose. What would your character do?
Would your character fail miserably or try and do something better?
No, he's ravenous and hungry. He would want.
Give me a roll.
He would want the soul. So I just roll one of them.
Yep. God, I hope you get a 1 again though.
9.
All right, it starts getting pulled within and it's struggling. However, in the ensuing chaos of everything that's happening, because there's all other people clawing at shit, it's getting pulled loose and it's like, it's trying to pull itself out. But the void of you is literally just pulling it in. But then you realize you can't just pull it in. It's not enough for you. You know what you have to do.
I bite down.
You start ripping into the viscous ectoplasm of this thing, and you start chewing and ripping apart what seems like remnants of memories of, like, you know, spinal column and that, you know, just the tendon and everything that pulls it apart starts rending as it starts getting pulled into your fucking maw as you chew it away and try to swallow it in.
So hungry.
At this, they start trying to flee, and they start realizing what's happening.
Good.
But you realize, and they start pouring themselves out of the body. They're all trying to vacate. They stop, and they start trying to pull themselves out of the body so they can try to get away. Seth, there's something you can do that this place cannot do naturally.
But I'm hungry.
You can still eat, but you also know if you open that doorway, you'll be demonstrating your worth to these people that normally will not want you around.
Hungry.
Hey, do what we do when you can't decide. Odds or evens.
No, I know what my character would do.
What do you do?
He would go to eat them.
Okay, fuck it. All right, I know how I'm gonna lose the law because I have to end this.
All I'm thinking about with my character is as it's trying to come out, you know, and Always Sunny with the McPoyles. It's like, no, you ain't.
With
Wayne,
Drag it back.
literally, if you just let me eat them, I will spew them out through the gate.
I can't. Yeah, but there's so many of them. But they're starting to pour out. You can't eat that many at once.
hungry.
But once I get full, just let me eat like 3 or 4. Let me feel
Well,
the satisfaction.
one would fill you.
I'm ravenous.
I know, but you have a capacity, and you haven't fed like this ever.
Fine. I'll go 1.5.
1.5. All right, so you chew
I get
this
full
guy down.
halfway, just legs running
Oh,
around.
okay. You chew this guy down, and the one that Nick's holding on to is trying to pull itself free. Jill, it's your turn. What are you doing? You're just trying to rip apart the guy that you have?
Whatever guy was nearest, yeah, I'm gonna run in. Probably gonna try and like jump onto him and just like shred into his face.
Strength and brawl +2.
Well, they're all ghosts at this point, right? Because they're all running away.
Most of them are trying to pull out and run, yeah.
Sounds about right. No one else is gonna say it.
Strength and brawl plus an extra 2 dice.
Yep.
Remember, Chris, you told me to play as my character.
I
so
know.
I'm not gonna just open a gate. I would eat.
1 success?
Yeah.
That's enough to wound it and pull it open. The ghost starts bleeding its ectoplasmic energy, and because of that, it starts getting pulled in somewhere.
Excellent. So
Lenny, what are you doing?
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. Right now, like my chest is ripped
So he's still up on
open,
the
my head
bridge,
snapped
right?
back.
And
It's
they're
just
all
like a
going,
huge
"Whoop."
maw.
Is there only one on him?
At this point, there's none on him. They're all just trying to run away from the priest. And they're just trying to run away in general. They're pulling out of the bodies and trying to flee.
Wait, the priest is dead, yeah?
Well, you haven't been able to tell because there's just corpses piled on him.
Well, I was wondering if his soul gets sucked into me.
No, you don't get to eat souls. You mean his ghost?
Yeah, his ghost, I meant.
No.
Oh, sorry. I'm just running to the nearest one and just start slashing.
All right, strength and brawl +2. No, you have your claws. Strength and brawl +4. I don't know what it does yet, but we're gonna roll with it.
Okay.
Go to town, man.
3, oh, wow.
4.
4 successes.
All right. So with that said, you start rending, and you know, at this point, blood is spraying, but the ghosts are pulling out of the bodies. But the people are dropping to the ground dead already, which you, from what you could tell, is already not normal. When people get possessed, they don't die when the things crawl out, and they don't get physically mangled when they pull their way in. In an explosion of light, though, as these ghosts start coming, they get frozen in place for a moment. They all just stop and turn. A bright, bright light fills the area. As out of nowhere, the priest is standing. And he is bloody and mauled, and his insides are hanging out in places. He's not looking okay.
delicious.
It's fine. He
But
can walk it
while
off.
you had a giant, you know, your thing, he has a giant white, blue, and gray angelic thing with red tinted wings and with a goat's head, or sorry, like a cow's head sitting on its neck as its head. It's got, and instead of eyes, it's got like fingertips jutting out that turn and kind of look and go like that, and they open. And as they open, they have a mouth inside with teeth too. The hands.
Worst hand job
At-
ever.
So
Says you.
they all stop and freeze. And because of that, and with him, he just bites down, and you are sated. Because they all just stop, and they, like, some of them, they freeze. And they stop and stare as you chew on the last, to the point where you're full.
Alright, I'm gonna regurgitate them all.
Well, you have to open something.
Fine. I will open the gate to the Underworld.
Remember how I said no gates open here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't. But he's a Reaper.
So
Reapers can open gates.
I will open the gate and then I'll walk over and then I'll open my chest up and basically regurgitate all the souls into the gate. Get rid of them.
He literally opens up his chest. Like, do you vomit them out, though? Like, through your mouth?
No, I was gonna do it through my chest the same way I eat. So I'd snap my head back and rip open the top of my chest. So it's like a huge maw from my neck down into my sternum. And I'd push them all out to the gate.
Huh.
And with that, the gate slams closed. And the priest just goes,
I don't feel so good.
he falls to the ground. And the thing standing over his head just tilts and looks down at him.
Mr. Stark.
And we're going to call it. That's the end of the first session. We introduced the characters and we got a tone set.
I'm still
All
hungry.
right.
Oh, you're going to... Don't worry. I just had to push it through so we got going.
That's fine. You got a burrito right there.
No, my
He
cat.
knows. He knows.
That's actually one of his
So,
things. is he's
thank you
always
for everybody
hungry,
for
doesn't
listening.
stop.
We appreciate it. You hope you enjoyed it. It's literally just setting the tone, introducing the characters, getting that crap out of the way.
I may actually read the book.
Wow. That's how you know he's interested. And he doesn't want to die.
Yeah, I'll actually
Wow.
read more now since I have more time to read.
And me too, because now I'm actually
Thrown
running
into
the
the
game that's
fray.
going. Yay!
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 Thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye.
Adios.
What was that?
Adios.